Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Yeehawlads podcast, episode number 105. This week, we've got a great show lined up. We're going to be talking about our off-roading trip that was originally going to go to Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch, but then got rescheduled to the Badlands in Indiana. But first, the joke of the day. This week, fellas, what did one elevator say to the other elevator? Anybody got anything?
Oh, no.
No.
It's
Nothing
God,
about-
it's from like Big Daddy.
Nothing
It's,
about ups and downs.
Oh,
no.
damn it. Okay, yeah.
That's like the default. Nothing.
I don't know. Something like I'll see you later, but elevator. Fuck, I don't
Like
know.
see you later alligator, but with elevator?
Yeah,
No.
sure.
I think I'm coming down with something. Get it? Because elevators go up, they go down.
So fucking dumb.
These jokes suck so bad, but I had to use them for something. I got them for Christmas, all right, man? I don't know. But no, this week we're going to talk about our off-road trip. It was for Memorial Day weekend. It was going to be a big old weekend, and it got kind of shrunken back, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Thanks, weather.
To start this thing up, let's talk about setting up the crawler hauler setup that we took down to the Badlands in Indiana, finally.
Yeah.
This has been a work in progress for, 6 months now, kind of?
A while.
like
Not
3.
Well, working on it, but
yeah.
acquiring
passively
the pieces.
passively over like 3 or 4 months, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to run us through kind of what, why, and other things.
So so originally I had a 24-foot PJ
Bumper pull.
14,000-pound trailer.
Pretty standard equipment trailer-ish.
Yeah.
It was very well kitted out, actually.
Yeah, the trailer was awesome. Never had a problem with it. Got good money when I sold it. Yeah, actually got a deal on it because it was custom ordered.
A school had ordered it, but they wanted...
They needed it 2 feet longer.
Let's say it was either 22 and they needed 24. It was 24 and they needed 26 or something. But it had drive-over fenders, monster ramps, rubber inlaid wood on the deck.
Yep.
Like, it was a
winch
very
box,
nice...
double jacks. Yeah, like really, truly is almost as built as you can get a trailer.
Yeah, I don't think it was missing anything.
But yeah, that I originally kind of turned into a crawler hauler with buying the ambulance box, putting the ambulance box on wheels, being able to winch it up on the trailer, and then barely sneaking my Jeep behind it. That way I can do...
It was very tight.
Yeah, had about 6 inches left,
which is a ton.
extra room.
That's a lot.
It is a lot,
but it's not a lot.
but at the same time, could be more. So
Correct.
So then I went and bought a 44-foot trailer.
44.
Talking about more.
Say, what is your 44-foot trailer?
44-foot trailer is almost identical. Drive over ramps. It's triple axle, so instead of 14,000, it's 21,000 rated. No rubber inlaid wood, just regular wood.
Which isn't that big of a deal, all things considered.
But still, same relative type, and then it's also a gooseneck. It is 2 feet shorter with my long bed, crew cab long bed truck and this 44-foot trailer. It is 2 feet shorter than a typical sleeper semi with a van trailer. So like the big
a
enclosed trailer.
53-foot van trailer.
Yeah.
Your 44-foot trailer adds up to basically the same length.
It's real close.
It is deceiving how long it actually is.
Yeah, and it's also way different to drive than a van trailer of a semi because the overhang is way different because the axles are way more in the center. So it drives way different.
It pivots instead of twisting, essentially. It's
Yes.
it's strange, but yeah.
So it is a handful to drive and tow.
But luckily,
I've gotten used to it. Yeah, luckily I do have a CDL, so I'm pretty used to driving really long shit.
And your truck does an excellent job. Your 2017 6.7
Yep.
Ford. Yeah.
Yep.
what
No
year.
complaints on weight or towing with that thing besides fuel mileage, but
After the bed got smashed, now it's all customed up. But
yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, so got the 44-foot. It's a 24. Bought it used because I saved on not paying taxes on it, and I also saved like $2,000 on the actual purchase price of it.
Somehow bought it used in 24.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, guy bought it in like fucking March of last year. I bought it in like October of last year.
Oh, it was earlier than that.
Wow.
I was painting the Honda when you got it. It would have been like May.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. So he might have got it in like tail end of 23, and he was in just on the other side of Illinois and Missouri.
It was so nice and new. You could still see the marks on the wood deck from when they laid out the screw holes.
Yes.
And like in pencil. Like they were
Yes.
still on the surface.
Yep. Yeah, he used it, and he was like a hot shotter almost. He had a 3-car wedge before this.
Ooh, hell yeah.
He's like, yeah, I think I'm going back to a wedge. This doesn't really do what I needed to, so I'm just going to go back to a wedge. I'm like, sure. Like,
Yeah,
I
sure,
save
I'll
a bunch.
take it.
I save a bunch of money on paying sales tax and I got it for a little bit of a deal. So I'm like, perfect. That works.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you bought your camper with the
Yeah.
intention of sticking it on this gooseneck.
Yes, because I knew the ambulance camper was going to be a lot to get it where I wanted to. It still would never have a bathroom in it and whatnot. So I'm like, at the time, I also sold my house. So I'm like, let's buy the camper, buy a brand new. I have it's like a 10-year loan, but that's all like. That's just all that campers
It's
do,
RV
really.
loan.
Yeah.
Because an RV is usually 100 plus grand.
But
depending
yeah,
on what
my
you're
plan
getting.
was to buy it in cash because I had just sold my house. But I'm like, nah, let's put it on a loan so I have cash to do other stuff. And thank God I did. But yeah, so have that. That's a 25. It's a 13 and a half foot interior. It's 16 foot tip to tip, which is perfect because that means with that on my gooseneck, I can put my Cherokee behind it and then Brian's truck on the tail end of the 44-foot, bring everything with us in one shot, and then me and Brian just split fuel costs.
Yeah, makes it way simpler.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like with your ambulance, it was it wasn't efficient with the space that was in there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not built to be a camper.
Well,
yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
it worked for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's
fuckload better than a damn tent.
absolutely, and it's also the goal. The goal was with a crawler hauler setup, especially with the ambulance camper. It was being into something cheap that I could run a generator with and put a AC unit in, so I could bring my dog with me.
Yeah.
Because the biggest
right.
reason, or like the biggest complaint about me going on long trips is like, I got to find somebody to watch my dog for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it ends up being.
Right.
And I'm like, I'd love to bring her with me because she loves to sleep, so she can sleep in the camper when I'm not there. Almost every off-road trip we've ever done, where we take a break at lunch to go back and eat and whatever. We're take her out in the middle of the day, come back.
Yeah, you're
At
never
dinner
going to be too far away.
Yeah, we're never more than like 4, 5, 6 hours away from the camper. So Blue will be fine. She can come out and wander around, eat some
Eat some
steal
grass.
everybody. Yeah, eat some grass, eat everybody's leftovers and stuff. Hang around the campsite.
Oh, yeah.
And enjoy it. And I'm like, I want to do that because it's just me and Blue. That's the only other being on this earth I have to be responsible for. So I'd love to take her with me.
Yeah.
And she does not like riding with the Jeep, especially for how I wheel.
Especially off-road, yeah.
Poor dog.
So
So you mentioned your Jeep. What?
Yeah.
Just give the whole rundown on start to finish of kind of how we've got to where we got
yeah,
to.
so
Because it's out of hand at this point. but-
yes, just out of high school, I wanted a mud bog truck. I ended up talking to a guy about an F-250 with my other buddy Justin. We were going to split it and bring it to the mud bogs because we didn't know anything else at the
dumb
time.
high school
Good old
kids.
Squires.
Ended up telling the guy, hey, I actually don't want that F-250. I think I want something more of a Jeep so it's lighter and whatnot. And whatnot. He's like, oh, I also have a Jeep, actually. Like, I'm kind of thinking about selling. I'm like, okay. At the time, I had a jet ski that I got for free.
That had fallen off the trailer and you drug it down the road for like a couple hundred feet. I remember that happening. I don't remember why. It must have been like the day you got
Sorta,
it.
yeah.
You like turned the corner by my house or something. And I'm like, because I remember
honestly
you
really remember that.
I remember hearing about it. I don't remember why, but I remember it fell off the trailer like the first day.
I don't know.
It happens.
It's been a while,
Yeah,
obviously.
obviously. Yeah.
But yeah, so
8
ended up
years or whatever.
trading that jet ski. I bought a $200 trailer for it because it didn't come with a trailer. But yeah, bought a $200 trailer, so I had $200 in it. Traded that and like $500 for a 4-inch lift and 32s Jeep Cherokee. That's kind of what we got when we started on how much I love Cherokees. Brian's older brother had one already.
Already had one. Had a
The red Cherokee.
94
Yep.
4-door. It was beat to piss.
Yes, and
Every
we
panel.
only did more of that with both of them. So
I would say it was on like some sort of lift, but I really don't know what it was. I think it
maybe
was
like a 2-inch.
I think it was like a 2.5-inch rough
Puck and
country
shackle,
at
yeah.
the day. But it's like we did so much abuse to it. I really don't know what it was.
Didn't y'all try to winch it up in the big tree that's now burnt to the
No,
ground?
so Michael rolled it in the yard.
That's
Flexing,
right. That's
yeah.
what he did.
'Cause
That's what he did.
It actually did shockingly well.
did
so
well.
we'd gotten a set of used 31 or 33-inch Armstrong tires from Peru Auto Salvage. They were just there. It's like, hey, how much for these? They're like, I don't know, some money. I'm like,
100, 150 bucks.
it wasn't
maybe,
much.
yeah.
Get them back, and one of the wheels is super bent. I'm like, oh, that's why they were at the junkyard. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, yeah. You
So-
put washers behind the wheel to correct the bend.
Yes.
I remember that.
So the wheel would wobble about an inch. Like
Yeah.
total.
Lord.
So we would stack. We went and got a bunch of washers of different thicknesses, and basically stacked a couple underneath each of the studs
Made a
to
spacer.
balance
yeah, to try to figure out like
to get it back to
reverse
zero.
the bend essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it was bent
It
a
worked.
quarter inch
I mean,
at
it
the top,
worked pretty well.
it actually
So-
did. If it was bent like it would think we put 2 washers on one stud, one on the next one,
Yeah.
and 0 on the bottom 2. And
Yep.
it actually corrected it pretty good. I was shocked.
So yeah, it worked.
So we beat the living piss out of that. Michael rolled it in the yard. We had a big ass oak tree in the yard, and he just decided to just drive up it as far as he
Do a
could.
little flex test and then
Basically, it's
went a couple inches too far.
Yeah, the door was like almost parallel with the ground. It was still on the ground, and then he went like an inch further and just like laid on its side. I was like, "How did you do that?" He's like, "I don't know. I just drove up the tree." Like, what do you mean you drove up a tree? Like, you can't just do that. Well, with a big wide base, it's kind of smooth approach. He's like, I just want to see how far it would go, and it just kept going. It was nothing crazy, just a welded rear diff and stock control arms, and it was put together awfully. Looking back at it, I'm like, oh, this thing should have killed me. It was just generic, like O'Reilly's shackles we re-drilled to go through the leaf spring bushings.
Well, I'll say you did it right, though. You kept yours cheap and simple.
Oh.
I eventually decided I want to go to 35s.
Yes.
And
Because I gave you shit for years. I'm like, I'm the big tire guy on 33s.
when I
You
was
were on, like,
always leading
31s or
to, and
32s.
I
Yeah.
can't leave anything stock. So I'm like, yeah, how much is a set of 35s? All right, I got 35s. How much is a set of control arms?
Mm-hmm.
All right, buy some short arm aftermarket, just to correct the
Mm-hmm.
axle.
Well, no, because you've gotten the 35s and you bent your stock control arms to piss.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. We had your stamped steel control arms bent.
Or
like
maybe I
3
maybe
inches
I bought
shorter.
lowers. I think I bought lowers first to correct the
Maybe.
angle,
Maybe that's
and then
what
I
it was.
bent the uppers, so then I bought the matching uppers.
Just self-clearancing.
We braced them with like a piece of square tube.
Yeah.
And everybody on Club XJ gave you so
I
much
saw
shit
somebody
for
do that same thing. Oh, he squared it. Like that was like a week ago. I saw this.
Oh my god! So
Did you give him shit?
I was gonna, and I was busy or doing something. I'm like, I would love, I Club XJ.
Love to dig
I
through-
love you, Club XJ.
Oh my God.
If anybody knows, you know. But
It was a
God.
whole different time on the internet. To be fair,
It was 2016, 2017.
Oh my God.
Internet,
It had
Time to be
Facebook.
alive.
that was early Facebook groups, and it had like 50,000 members.
Yeah, it was
chaos.
it was by far the most ruthless, crazy, and you see everything from mild to wild. Like people don't hold back. Like moderators were extremely laxed.
Well, like how Illinois Car Enthusiast was back in like 2016,
I wasn't on
2017.
it.
Probably
then, but
worse because this
it
is
was-
degenerate people going off-roading in Jeeps. At least
Yeah.
those are like car people who have money for cars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was. These are just pores.
Fair. Okay, so like the Explorer group.
Worse.
It was
Probably
imagine
worse.
that, but they're on meth.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was probably
yeah,
worse.
a lot of
though,
drugs.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, so that
Explorer
was
owners pick heroin.
you put 35s on it, started breaking things, whatever.
And then eventually just kind of got a lull. Didn't really, we the Cliffs was closing.
The
Or, no,
Cliffs-
it was
Yeah.
That
no,
was
it was
one of the
fine. Yeah, it
things.
was fine then.
Yeah.
Went
There
like
was-
2 years, just kind of got in a lull.
Is that
I
you
sold it.
Sold it.
Sold it to my buddy who I originally was going to split that F-250 with.
Right.
Yeah.
He eventually takes it out to the mud bog a couple times,
Beats the piss out of
beats
it.
piss out of it. He sells it to somebody else. I find that guy. I buy my old Jeep back because the
Because-
tires were still brand new.
They were
I think it had
35-inch Mastercraft MXTs.
tires were still brand new. I knew that there was a lift leaf spring pack in it.
Mm-hmm.
The coil springs were still,
They were 4.5-inch lift, I think, at that point.
they were good. But what I did, we had a rubber spacer in there. What I ended up doing is because I started to lose the coil spring. That
Oh.
was the first set of progressive coils I bought.
Yes. Were they metal cloaks?
Metal Cloak. Metal
Okay.
Cloak TJ, technically progressive coils, which a progressive coil essentially is always under tension. So a typical coil spring, like 99% of people who drive on the road will never
Unload a coil.
unload a coil.
Yeah.
But when you start changing out aftermarket control arms and stuff and getting more flex out of everything, the coil can technically fall out of where it's sitting.
I
Because it's
think
not
yours did fall
tension
out
of
on
it.
one trip.
It did a couple times,
Yeah, it got a problem.
And so I'm like, how can I fix this? Well, besides limit straps, which limit how much flex you get, you can just buy progressive coils, which as you flex, they unexpand to a.
they have a soft section and a harder section.
Yeah, the soft section is meant to just be
Keep them in
compressed
place.
under ride height and whatnot.
It's a retainer almost.
Yeah, and then when you're flexed, it will expand enough to where it doesn't fall out, essentially.
Right.
So
you had bought your Jeep back because you'd purchased a new Jeep.
yes, I purchased one that was like a good Jeep.
Yes.
I was looking for, I don't know, a month or two probably. Found a 2000 Jeep Cherokee, bone stock. The guy actually did like neon.
Damn, look
That's
how
like-
minty that thing
I know.
is.
Yeah, how empty it was.
SRT
Yeah.
neon
Injectors.
injectors, like 4-hole injectors.
which is some hack you can
new
do.
coil pack, spark plugs, oil change, this, that, like little stuff. Had new headlights in
That was
it.
back when you had the Crown
was your
Vic.
B-pillar bent then?
Fuck, maybe.
It looks
It
bent in
looks
the
bent.
picture.
It was crashed. He did tell me it was crashed because
Okay.
the fog light harnesses have been fucked up since I bought it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it might have been.
Oh, and there's
but-
the Crown Vic. God,
Yeah.
that poor car got ruined after you sold. After
Oh,
you sold it.
It's back again. I saw it in LaSalle actually.
Oh, no.
No. The guy ripped all the spray paint off of it. He actually tried to make it decent.
Are you sure it's the
I
same
swear to
car?
God.
Hell yeah.
Because it was loud, had the same wheels, and it like you could tell it was rough.
Car
but
is
he
just
started to
haunting
care.
you from the grave.
Yeah, I did see it in LaSalle. I was
Okay.
shocked to see my little Crown Vic.
That's crazy because I thought it died.
Because well,
Damn.
fuck, probably 20 episodes ago, we were talking about how it was for sale and it was all beat up. Or no,
It was-
I saw it in the Taco Bell Park drive-through, and
all
then it was
spray
for
painted,
sale.
yeah.
And yeah, it was.
But regardless, we bought this thing from Lockport, which is the sketchy
It's
side
the
of
ghetto
Rockford.
of Rockford, essentially.
The
yeah.
ghetto!
Well, the
Rockford's-
reason this thing was cheap, by the way, it had 150,000 miles. Don't know about the owners. Had a good owner who like cared about it and put some decent parts in it and whatnot. I was like,
But-
okay, it seems like a good guy to do it. He said it got shot 3 times through the back windshield, and then also it
Up
carried
into the
on
dash.
through to hit the
So
the
if you can
windshield
kind
and
of
dash.
see it in this
You can
picture,
see duct
there's
tape there,
Gorilla
yeah.
tape and shit in the front
Yep.
to hold the glass in
Um,
place.
Back window's completely shattered out.
Yes. And then there was a blown brake line. He's like, I'm just sick of it. I don't need another car anymore. Like, he had plenty of projects and stuff going on too. So, yeah. It worked out well to go up and buy it. But, yeah, I think I paid
It was like $680. It wasn't much.
$732 in 2 Taco Bell coupons because he wanted $750, and I just so happened to have 2 Taco Bell coupons. And, like,
You forced them on. The guys that are like, I don't eat Taco Bell. I don't want
I'm like,
these."
well,
And you're
I
like,
feel bad for, like, because he said he agreed at $750, and I'm like, well, I only have
Turns out.
this and 2 Taco. I'm like, here, I feel bad if I take these.
You
So there go.
lowballed the shit out of him. And he's just like, yeah, no. I think he was also building an S13 in his garage.
Yeah,
It
and
was
then he
something
also had
weird
a
like that.
Supermoto, and
Damn.
yeah, or he
Yeah.
maybe had like a ZX 300 in the driveway.
Like
he had like a lot of projects to be fair.
Like, I still remember he's wearing a Vetter Holsters shirt. I'm like, oh, we're in a good place. Like, we're not going to get shot by this guy.
yeah.
This dude knows
He
what's
slept
up.
through it. He slept like the cop knocked on his door and was like, "Hey, just so you know, your car got shot." And like his house got hit a couple times too.
Just
Like he's
like-
like, he worked second shift. So he's like, oh, I was sleeping. Like, oh, whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're vibing. So, yeah, you bought your old Jeep back to rob all the parts
This was
off of it.
in mid 2019.
The end of 19 coming into 20 because I was staying at your house for a week. Because
Yes.
it was... No.
No, not when I bought this. No.
This would be mid 20 because at the end of 20 I stayed at your house.
Oh no, it was 20. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it was mid 20 towards the end of 20
Right.
because it was Christmas of 20. I had to stay at your house for a week because my mom.
That's
got,
when I was building it.
Yeah, because my mom got COVID, so I was living at your house.
I remember that.
Coronavirus.
I remember
I
that. I just don't
remember that.
remember.
It had to be 20 because of 19.
Yeah,
wasn't
because
a thing.
21 was
21, it was nobody cared by that.
Yeah, March of 21 is when I had finished the Jeep.
Yeah.
And October of 21 is the first trip I did with TOP.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So yeah, you robbed a bunch of parts off it. This and
Yeah,
that.
bought my old Jeep back, swapped all the suspension over essentially, got it lifted, got it figured out, put some more money into it for the little stuff, make it drivable again. Did
And-
pretty good on the road. And,
and
then
you got brave.
well, then I decided
by
to I started listening to TOP after your recommendation.
Yep.
And
They went to the cliffs on the closing day of it.
yeah, so like closing weekend or whatever.
Like the last weekend they were open.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, that's the cliffs.
Well,
Like, I know these guys.
Yeah.
They're still open, just not to
Not to
normal
Yeah, not to
full-size
full
trucks
sizes.
and
They
except
do
on, like,
ATVs and or
Side-
no, do they do ATVs?
ATVs,
Yes.
dirt bike side by side.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing, they
not-
will do full sizes on event weekends, which I haven't
I
bothered
don't-
to even check. Their
I don't think
pages
they-
if they do events.
I think
they
they did
did
it
do
the
it a
one.
couple times, but yeah, not a lot.
I think it's over
so,
now. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah,
But yeah, that was our closest park at Marseille.
yeah, it was
like,
30 minutes away, 35 minutes away.
yeah.
And now the closest one's 3 hours. So
Noise.
So yeah.
or sorry, 2.5, whatever.
So yeah, you went on your first trip with those guys on
Yeah.
on the same 35s you had before.
Yep.
And then all the parts off your other Jeep more
Yeah.
or less.
Just before that trip, so from like March to October, I just kind of drove it around every now and again as another vehicle, whatever. In October, I welded the rear diff. That way, it was the exact same setup I was used to from the cliffs.
yeah,
you know,
super comfortable.
Yeah, 3-wheel drive essentially all the time. Stock axles. Yeah, went out there, got used to wheeling with those guys, saw everybody on 1-tons and 40s, and I'm like, wow, I want to do cool stuff.
Where was that first trip? Was that Moonlight?
Rocks and Valleys
okay.
in Michigan.
And you went to
Yeah.
Moonlight and Rocks and Valleys before
Moonlight
I ever tagged along.
was the next year.
Gotcha.
Was like spring of the next year.
I
yeah.
gotcha.
But
But yeah, kind of got comfortable. They're all in tons and 40s. You're like, I can keep up with throttle.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, momentum is my friend. I was always used to hitting things with a lot of throttle, because of the cliffs, because of the mud, and because I was always the one going ahead usually when we were there. So everything that I was doing, I'm like, well, if I make it up with throttle, Brian can judge what I'm doing and either hit it with more throttle or less throttle, depending on
or
what it
drag
does.
you back through it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My like forethought was like, oh, if I just like momentum will get me through it, and if it doesn't, then
we'll
we
figure
have
it
a
out.
problem.
Then
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So what had happened is you got really used to being on throttle and nearly threw this thing over top of itself.
well,
Couple
no,
of times,
I
yeah.
wheeled for 2 years before it got a cage, or a year and a half before it got a cage.
But event you got real comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was just I got really used to it. I was in the Cherokee platform at this point for handful of years doing good crawling.
Oh, and you had decided you needed more grips. You needed a front locker.
Yes,
That was
the
deciding factor.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, and I put off buying a locker for a while. I was trying to find a used one through like the TOP group, Total Off-Road Podcast group.
Yep.
And eventually I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy a locker. So I bought a locker. It was a lunchbox locker. It's supposed to disengage going around tight corners, and then lock in anytime you're going straight, especially like going up on obstacles and stuff when you start putting torque to it.
It was affordable-ish. Nothing
Like
too
$300
crazy.
I think by the time it got to me. Yeah.
Yeah. From Complete Off-Road,
Spartan?
I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
Spartan locker. Oh, did awesome. Like
Yeah.
I had zero. Like if I ever need a lunchbox locker, Spartan will be my go-to. I swear to God, I never felt it unlock, and every time I needed power, it always had my wheels spinning. It was perfect.
At this point, I've been riding with you. Wherever we go to Badlands or whatever, I'd just be with you because I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm like filming from the outside. I'm like, it really did work pretty good most of the time.
I really, like I said, never had any complaints about it. Not because it's designed to
Be able to open.
be open and be able to only put one power to one wheel. And like I said, anytime I needed both front wheels spinning,
It seemed like it was doing it.
it was good. Yeah. So
Well, the problem with that is now you can climb even scarier obstacles.
yeah. So now I'm pushing the boundaries even more, and the next big leap is a cage. And after one incident of me almost end over ending, I came down off a big rock.
Yep.
I
remember
my
that.
front grill kissed the ground. If I had any more momentum, I would have end over ended it.
Yeah, if you didn't be able to throttle out of it just enough.
I didn't even throttle it. I
Well-
literally just teetered. I kind of teetered from the passenger side of my bumper to the driver's side, and then
Yeah.
kind of like laid back.
Settled.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I was following guys on tons and 40s, and they have so much extra suspension travel. They all floated down this. Like their suspension was able to. Their tires were big enough. Their suspension had enough.
Movement.
compression. They could like squish one corner, droop the other corner.
Yeah, they drooped enough coming off of this rock that it looked like it was a fucking highway. Well, my tires were so small and I had so little suspension droop that it took my whole front end down, and then the momentum of that carried me up, and I was literally on my front bumper doing a fucking
Doing endo.
handstand,
Yeah.
essentially, yeah.
So at that point, it's like maybe it needs a cage.
Yeah, that trip was in November. That was on a Black Friday to AOP in Tennessee. And after that, I said, all right, now I'm going to order a cage now.
I
See
remember
if this has a date on. May 29th? No, that's today.
Yeah,
okay.
it's the- yeah.
I do
I know
remember
it was
this.
November when that
I
trip
remember
was,
this.
so
This
within
would've
a
been-
couple months after that.
This is like February or March. This is
Yep.
early
Yep.
23 then.
Dang.
Yep, 23.
So you ordered a cage kit.
Yep, ordered a cage. We got that slapped in.
Took 2 days.
Yeah,
But really
overall
wasn't
really
too
good.
bad.
Great kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the price. Yeah. Oh, actually, I ordered it on Black Friday or maybe I.
It was like an 8-week lead time. You ordered it on
Right.
some holiday, I think.
And it showed
I
up.
swore I
up like
ordered
a
it
week
on
later.
Black Friday because I asked, or maybe I just came home from that trip. I'm like, hey, do you have?
Maybe that's what
or
it
like, can I
was.
get the deal even though it happened
That
even though
sounds
Black Friday
right.
was like a week ago? He's like, yeah, I'll give you $100 off for free shipping. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks it showed up. You're like, oh damn.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that was way faster than I thought.
But yeah, we threw that thing together in a weekend. It actually went pretty easily. You had to do some finished work at home by yourself, but
Yeah,
that was
nothing crazy. Yeah, paint it,
Yeah, I remember that.
throw the interior back in, whatever. And then after that, got even more comfortable on 35s. I could only air down so much without being on bead locks. I could only do such big obstacles because my tires are so small.
you would just hit things with your body.
Yeah, specifically one obstacle called Slick Rock at Badlands. I got denied and denied and denied and denied.
This would have been the episode labeled "Broken Shafts." From,
Yes.
like last year.
Yep, that was
Steve broke his drive shaft in half, and you broke.
I think that was
shock
Customer
off.
Appreciation Day
Yep.
of
That sounds about
last
right.
year.
Yep.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
but
and
yeah, after that, you're like, it needs.
well, that was 23 technically. That was fall of 23 because
it'd be over about a year ago.
because
yeah.
December or sorry, the New Year's of 23 going into 24 is when my Jeep was officially done and taken apart.
Yeah.
And it sat all of 2024.
Yeah, we did the New Year's hangover run. And you're like, okay, I'm taking it apart and putting tons on it now.
And then I had
Tons
the
and
worst
photos.
work year that I've ever had. Made zero money. Had zero free dollars to throw at this thing.
Worked, 800 hours? the whole
800
year?
hours over the course of 365 days. If you average it out, it ain't good.
No.
Even though I make a lot hourly, it's still
But
like,
working a third of your year isn't going to
it's
pay
not
off.
good at all.
Yeah. So it took a long time.
So yeah, it took a long time. Was able to crunch in order to get it done for this year's hangover, 2024 and 25. So I went from hangover run to hangover run exactly a year without having a Jeep.
But it turned into this monstrosity.
So now it is. It's got a Super Duty 60 front end. It's any 05 and up. F250
plus.
has them. F250
Yeah.
and 350 has them.
Actually, you could see the progressive coils that we're talking about here.
Yes.
So there's a real tight section at the top,
Yep.
and then these just stretch out to maintain contact.
Correct.
Super useful. They work great.
Yep. Yeah. So Super Duty 60 front axle. Dana 14 or sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus.
GM 14 bolt.
GM 14 bolt rear axle out of a Chevy.
Both re-geared to 538.
Chevy.
538 gears,
Full hydro
a full
front.
spool in the rear axle. That way, it is mechanically all one piece when it gets driven. Technically,
Yes. There is no slip side to
yes,
side.
there it's not. The welds can't break. If I break that, I'm doing something
Way
insane.
wrong.
Way wrong.
Yeah.
The front end, however, I did want to weld because they don't really make spools for a Super Duty 60,
And they're expensive.
and
Spools
they
are
are
expensive.
also expensive. The rear spool was twice as much as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I was about $2,600 into gears and a spool
Yeah.
and everything. So
On your budget builder, you're like,
on my
"Haha,
I
running out of
thought
money."
originally I had budgeted for $3,500 to do this ton swap.
Which the axles alone are 1,000 plus of that, more or less.
No, I was cheap in the axles, cheap in the tires. Tires I got a set of 5 pretty good tread 40 13.5 17 tires.
Turo Trail Blades or something.
Trail blades for $100 from a guy in Chicago or
Mm-hmm.
just outside of Chicago.
Yep.
Wheels had a couple $100 in those.
Mm-hmm.
The steering and the gears are what really just
Added
put me
up.
over
Yeah.
budget. Steering, I bought a used kit thinking that it would be most of what I needed. Ended up rebuying 90% of it. So that didn't work.
Doing the high steer knuckles and all that stuff just to get like piece after piece after piece to get it together to work.
Yep.
Use the
And
Barnes-
that was what was the big crunch was steering and just final pieces. And it's still not officially done and it's still not perfect, but
But it
is
was-
drivable and wheelable.
It was close enough we could use it on a shitty, cold, sloppy day. It was fine.
Yep.
Thoroughly impressed with how well these $100 tires performed, to be fair.
Oh yeah. They've done well.
But this was the last trip it was on, was hangover.
Yeah, that
run.
was January of 25 here, so that was good. That was a good trip overall. I didn't.
Other than you stuffing
Oh.
the hydraulic fitting into your oil pan.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did not have
twice.
bump stops. That is a lesson to learn.
Yep.
I have since moved the ram to where the hydraulic fittings will not hit that anymore, as well as I have put bump stops in, so that shouldn't
You
happen
also
ever.
bent your oil pan.
with the
that is-
hydraulic
yeah,
fitting.
but yeah, the ram and hydraulic fittings went into the oil pan and
Well,
did that.
bent
and then
the pan
also-
and then bent the crank girdle inside the pan
Yeah.
to where it hits the rods of the engine.
Yep.
That's all fixed
There's
now.
a lot of good pictures in that episode if you want to go back to that.
That is Hangover Run Carnage, I believe.
yes.
Which I think they've all been titled something like that. 'cause
Right.
things always go wrong.
And then I also broke my anti-wrap bar. Have since rebuilt the anti-wrap bar with twice as thick of steel tube for that.
Yep. And a better design. Not a
Way better design.
let it hit the floor more, do a whole bunch of
Yep.
stuff.
So yeah, now obviously I'm a 2000 Jeep Cherokee on 1 tons front and back, 40-inch tires, full hydro, full
Stock.
hydraulic steering,
Bone stock 4-liter.
Caged,
Other than the injectors.
Iron Rock 3-link, leaf springs in the rear still, anti-wrap bar, which is just for when the rear axle is under power. It tends to roll because it has such high gears in the axle. A lot of torque is getting put down, so the anti-wrap bar is just meant to make the
Hold the axle
kind
in
of
place.
what it says, anti-wrap. Make sure the axle doesn't wrap under load.
right.
Yeah,
Barnes Easy Swap front truss.
Yep, Iron
Full
Rock
hydro,
3-link.
Stock 4-liter.
Yep. Yeah. Stock engine still, stock transfer case,
What do you
stock
get?
transmission.
I know you changed a couple of things before this trip specifically.
What did I do?
You did the anti-wrap bar and you did
Anti-wrap bar?
leaf springs.
Oh.
Your rear leaf springs.
Yes, leaf springs. My buddy Kyle Mang had
Kyle Mang.
we have an episode with him. He's a good dude.
Great dude.
He had a set of military wrapped leaf springs. He was selling for $200.
Your current leaf springs were bent flat,
They were
almost
literally
unbent.
the stock leaf springs that came in this Jeep. They were
bad.
sad.
Piss.
They were
Yeah.
very sad, flat. Anytime you flexed at all, they bent into a U shape, which leaf springs are not supposed to do.
Upside down U shape.
Yeah.
They would
Upside down.
They were
unbend
a
up.
3 or 4 leaf pack. The one I was swapping to was like a 6 leaf pack.
Yeah.
just way better leafs in general.
Way better design, a nicer pack.
Yep.
Which you put them in and it rode immediately way better.
Yes, the body roll was way better. It rode way better with these new leaf springs.
So that's where you got into
Installed the
before.
bump stops.
Oh yeah, you did bump stops too. Hockey puck bump stops.
Yep.
That worked out pretty much as well as you'd hoped. It
Yep.
kind of went together nicely-ish.
Yep. Trying to think what else. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think
Nothing.
That's the majority.
I moved my battery
disconnect.
disconnect so I can
Yes.
hit it from my driver's seat now. I don't have to walk around the fucking side of the Jeep and go to the passenger side and whatnot.
Huge upgrade.
Big upgrade. Yeah, little stuff, nitpicking here and there.
between-
A thermostat, which didn't end up helping my heating problems, but not that it overheated, but it was higher than I was hoping. But
It just runs.
apparently that's
warm.
just every 4-liter runs at 210. So
the
whatever.
radiators are tiny. That's why it's just the way it is.
Yep. But that's really about it, I think.
Okay. So then that was on the front of your trailer. It's your camper, and then that.
Yes, my Jeep was backed up to be backed up against the camper. Yep, just like
This picture right here, I
Yep.
do believe.
nice.
Yeah, so that's the setup without Brian's truck. Ended up weighing that.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take any guesses of weight?
I've seen the scale ticket,
Yes.
so I cannot guess.
Yeah, Nick, Brian,
They
Nick,
say,
Marcus.
Do you guys want to ask
Um,
any questions about the setup to get some
Yeah,
numbers?
how much does your trailer weigh again?
The
Trailer roughly
I'd say
8,000.
probably 8.
So
Really? Okay.
is this truck, trailer, and everything on
as
it?
this picture says.
Without Brian's truck.
Without
It's- yes,
Brian?
camper,
Without
it's
Brian's.
Yes.
It's truck, trailer, camper, Jeep.
Yeah.
And then
16,000.
also some other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 19.5.
16.
Way low.
So the truck weighs 9. The trailer weighs 8. The
Oh, wait, we're
Jeep
counting
weighs-
the truck?
The
Yes.
truck, the trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Truck is 9. Trailer's about 8.
25.
26.5.
Okay, I was going
Holy
to say like
shit.
25, 26. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
bitch.
All right.
And then also
Heavy.
Brian's 5,000-pound truck,
Yeah.
and him, and also my dog in the truck.
So
And all of our other gear.
all
stuff.
of 30,000 pounds.
32. I'm
We're
assuming,
we're
yeah.
guessing about 32 loaded
Wow.
down.
So yeah, full
Wow.
tank of fuel and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, which
How'd she pull with all that?
fine.
yeah,
Honestly, so
honestly amazing.
yeah, okay. I'll spoil this. The crawler hauler part of it did awesome.
Amazing.
I took a shower the one night. Out of all the water we used, I still came back with probably 2/3 full of a water
Yeah,
tank. It's
less-
only a 15-gallon.
Less than half a tank
Wow.
to take a shower, which you could turn it on and off in the shower
Yeah.
head. So
Yeah.
you're not wasting it, but
But oh my god, the dirt that came off of me after wheeling, dude. Oh, it was.
There's
heavenly.
nothing like
Um,
even a half-ass lukewarm shower after doing stupid shit all damn
plenty
day.
warm. I let the water heater heat up for about 15-20 minutes before I went in there. Had a shower beer. It was awesome.
Shower beer.
but yeah, we'll do a quick
yeah.
dive through of my truck. My story is not nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
Or long.
So I bought my truck from Milwaukee in October of 23. That would have been.
Yeah.
Andy had already been wheeling. I'd been wheeling with, like, riding with him, and I'm like, I need something so I'm not just like taking up a passenger seat all the time. I'm like, well, building an F350 sounds like the simplest thing. I'll buy a 351 Windsor V8 F350, so it comes stock on 1-ton axles, and I'll just chop the thing up and make it what I envisioned in my head for years.
Yeah.
Wheeling a Cherokee, which is no frame, no way to put tons under it easily. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll just buy something they're already underneath.
Hey, why are the wheels in this thing so fucking clean?
The guy spray painted them shortly before I bought them.
Clearly, they are
yeah.
literally
You can see
brand
because
new.
he also paints the edge of the tire.
Yeah.
They were off
I thought that was
gassing
funny.
still.
I'm like, God damn, that
I-
looks brand new.
The wheels looked so nice. The actual
Yeah.
tires were pretty nice.
Yeah, they're good. Just roller
But it's like
tires.
he wanted $1,300 for it. It's
Yep.
a literal base model, nothing fancy. It must have had a
Old
snowplow
plow
on
truck.
it.
Yep.
Fenders are destroyed. Floorboards are gone. Like
Yep.
salt, snow, whatever else. tore
Typical
it apart.
94 F350 at this point.
But he's like, he wanted like
5.8.
5.8 Windsor, yeah, 351. Just
Yep, gasser.
automatic transmission, manual transfer case.
Yep.
Simple.
Single cab long bed.
Yes, very simple.
Yeah.
He's the one $1,300 for it. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is there's no point in waiting around for some other random truck. It's the cheapest deal. It's got 130,000 miles.
Which is very low.
It's actually fresh.
Because
Actually,
these trucks do run forever, so
yeah. So I'm just like, fuck it. This is the one. We'll just go get it. Whatever. We took Michael's F-150 and Andy's trailer, his little trailer, not his 44.
yeah, the 24-footer at the time. Yep.
Yeah. Ran up there to get it. On the way up there, he texts me. He's like, hey, I'm not gonna be there, I looked through your Facebook. You look like a trustworthy guy. Just leave the money in my boots sitting outside if you want it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fucking sweet.
Okay.
Wow.
You're like,
Steals
I
the
guess.
truck.
Literally on the way, I'm just like, see, there's an easy way to do this. I put the money in the boot, take a picture, send it to him, and then steal his boots.
Yeah.
Just take his boots and the cab.
I'm like, obviously I wouldn't do that. But we drove it around. I'm like, this thing actually drives pretty, on the stock tires, it drives
Oh, yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was just a decent overall truck.
It was just
Still is a
rusty.
decent
Yes,
little
just
truck.
rusty.
So it's like, okay, we need to fix
Well, it's
all
not
the rust.
little anymore.
It's
It is little.
It is the same size as a stock Super Duty now still, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy because it's on 39.5s. But this was in mid-October, and I was planning, I'm like, okay, let's have it done for Hangover Run, which is the end of the year.
This was 23 into 24 hangover run.
Correct.
Yep.
So at the time, I'm working 60-hour weeks, 610s.
Yep.
And I'm like, I can do this. I just got to cut some stuff and do whatever. And it turned into kind of a crunch. Luckily, Marcus is like, I got nothing better to do. I'll help you all night. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. So for probably 2 months straight, I would work at 60, and every night I'd come out and we work on this thing for like 5 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which towards the end got really old and really
Yeah.
tiring.
Yeah.
Especially because towards the end it was all the little stupid shit we had to fix. Like I specifically remember one night I helped you, got home, took a shower, and I was eating some fucking microwave burritos sitting in my basement, looking up the wiring diagram for the
rear
third
taillights.
brake light, because
Oh.
if that brake light goes out, that is the resistor fuse for the transmission.
Transmission kickdown. If the third
What the fuck?
if the third
Yeah.
brake light burns out,
Yeah.
it will ruin the transmission in
Yes.
these trucks.
Wow.
So
That's what when it lights up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It knows, oh, you're braking, unlock the torque converter, do whatever stuff.
Ah.
So if you replace it with an LED one,
Yeah.
or take it out, it will
Yeah.
kill the transmission.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
So I
Welcome
went
to OBD1.
I went
Yeah.
through
Hey.
like a 40-page
Mm.
old form looking at
Yep.
different wire diagrams to try to find the correct one to put an inline resistor in place. So even if that
Even if
bulb blew, it still would preload the voltage
circuit.
to,
Yeah.
to be
Which-
correct.
we ended up not doing that.
Yeah,
'cause
we ended
didn't
up
need-
not doing it
because-
because we were in a bit of a time crunch.
Yeah.
But
Because at the time, the plan was to back half the entire truck. So that means the brake lights don't exist other than the cab light.
yep,
So we were trying to figure out if the resistance from the LED pucks we were putting in the back was going to ruin this
Oh,
whole
yes.
resistor setup.
Yep.
If it was going to try to like hyper flash.
it was
but
a
with
lot
brake
of
light.
weird math.
It was a long time, but you could see I patched all the floors back up.
Yep.
Everything's nice and clean and tight.
That was also fun. I remember doing that.
I'll say me and Michael did a lot of that. You helped for quite a bit of it too. But
Well, we made the seatbelt brackets.
yes, that was like we do all this work. It's like the week before and working till 2 a.m. every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
We painted the back half of the frame and the floorboard
8 hours before we left.
at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
the morning of the day we were going to leave that night.
Yep.
It was cozy time frame, but
we got her done.
Yeah.
we did end up getting it done.
That was the day. That was the time that you and Nick both came with us to Hangover Run, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Marcus is like, I'm going to ride in this fucking thing. I did so much
Yeah,
work
fair.
to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we ended up shortening the wheelbase from 134 stock to 108 inches, which is the same length as a full-size Bronco of the same era.
Yep. Also, that is what my current XJ is on.
Is
is
it?
108. 108 and a half.
Because my original goal was to get to 112.
Yeah.
I was going to stretch the front out 4 inches.
Yeah.
But then I realized there's no room to do any of that forward after
So that's
I'd already
on
done the back.
that's on hiatus for now.
Yeah, this truck is going to stay where it's at now, I think. I don't think I'm going any further with it, just for the fact of it's gigantic. But
Yeah.
at that point, it turned into this monstrosity.
Yeah.
This is technically a little bit after because I added the license plate mount.
Yeah.
But this is what it looked like at Hangover Run 1.
Yes.
39.5-inch pit bull rockers.
Yep.
I hadn't finished the exhaust yet either. That's all afterwards, but
Didn't I burn the fuck out of my hand on that?
probably.
I think so.
But full custom back half frame, 3/16 channel, bent up at work, mitered to fit into the stock frame pretty well. Everything from the cab back is custom.
Yeah.
It's just like, add this piece, add this piece. It was like my brain's working overtime at work trying to think of like, okay, how can I make this fit together? Like, oh, I need to put the fuel tank in there. Where am I going to put that? How am I going to build that mount? Luckily, I had plenty of time at work to think it all through, but it actually came together pretty nice.
Yeah, custom wire harness and everything for the rear.
The 7-pin trailer box wiring harness box
Have
trailer
come in
wire
handy
7-pin.
so many times.
Words and wires and yeah.
Yeah. To wire up all the back half of it, I took a 7-pin trailer box, ran the stock wires into it, split them up, ran the other wires out of it. It was perfect. I love using those boxes.
Yeah,
Hence
that
why I
does
used
sound nice.
2 of them on my trailer to rewire it.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It worked great the first trip, other than the springs in the rear were so soft it bent them
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes.
Because I'd taken all but 2 leaves out of it on a 1-ton truck that's still a bit light. So
Yeah.
after that trip, I put one of the leaves back into it, did a bunch of work to it in the off season, more or less just kind of fixing stuff, altering stuff. Hydro assisted the front end.
Yep.
Still fighting that, getting it just right, but
Yeah.
ended up putting a bed on it later.
Bed sides.
Bedsides.
I
Yeah.
say bed is a strong word. There's
Yeah.
technically bed sides, but
Yep.
nothing in between them.
Cleared the 37-ish inch tires.
The 39.5s that measure a 37.
Yeah.
That's the one gripe. Is like they're
Thanks,
just-
Pitbull.
They're
Yeah.
exactly the width they advertise. They're 16 and a half inches wide to the millimeter, but they're 2 inches too short, or 2.5 inches too short.
Yeah.
So put the bed sides on it, now it looks like a real truck, filled it out a little bit, and just slowly kept adding things. This is after Hydro Assist, yeah, because it's solid
Yeah.
tie rods.
Yep.
There's my ram in
I see
there.
it, yeah.
Because the biggest problem before the Hydro Assist
Was turning
Was-
the damn thing.
Yeah.
when you would go to turn, the steering rods would flip, or at least
Yeah.
attempt to flip, and they'd bind.
There's a thing called tie rod roll.
Yeah.
All Y-Link steering suffers from it. Since the steering drag link is on the outside edge of the tie rod, it flips it back and forth as you load it up
Like I remember specifically, I think we were on Orange Trail, which had like just got cut
at night.
at night, and we were
Yeah.
coming
Downhill.
off the hill, downhill, and had to make a fucking 90 degree
right.
turn. And you just looked over at me and you were like, I need help turning. And I like pulled
Grab
down
the
on the wheel
wheel.
and I'm like, hold, this bitch is not fucking moving.
As Andy's
And
in front of us, like, are you coming?
Yeah,
or what?
it took them a couple minutes.
It
to
was an
navigate this
Austin
little
Powers
section.
turn of hold on. Okay, back up. All right, a little bit
Yeah.
more. Okay. All right,
I
now
was
we're
like,
good.
guys, it's just a turn. Like,
Yeah.
what's the problem?
Yeah,
It was on
but
a
when you
little bit
got
of a hill,
two
sure.
guys, I mean, I
Yeah,
know you
no,
were like full weight onto that
Yeah.
thing, and I was
At the time-
as far as I could.
At the time, I was still stock steering too,
Yeah,
so I was like,
fucker
yeah,
did
it
not
sucked a little
turn.
bit, but I was also only on 35s.
No.
I think the 16 and a half wide is what kills it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's so much surface area you're
Yeah.
trying to push.
Plus, it's welded diffs front and rear.
Yes.
So it is tight everywhere.
Yes, correct.
So after that, it's Hydro Assist. That helped a ton.
Yep.
Then I did Hydro Boost brakes, which are awesome, other than they leach off the power steering system.
Yes.
Which now means my power steering doesn't have enough pressure.
Yeah.
So
Boo.
I had to fix that. I tried to fix it by putting a smaller pulley on it before this run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't solve the problem. It's still tight, but a little brake and it could spin through it pretty. Little brake gas, it could spin
Yep.
through it, but
Yep.
it's still pretty tight. But there it is as it sits more or less now.
Yeah.
Winch on the front, rock sliders, cleaned up the wheels. They used to be red on the
Yeah.
beadlocks. Took them all apart, cleaned the whole
They
thing.
look good on both. I'll be honest.
Honestly, I don't know which one looks better. The fact that they were color matched from the guy I
you
bought them
bought
from.
them
I
like
wouldn't
that,
even
and they were
say
pretty fucking
Color matched. They were color faded to the correct
Yeah.
both
shade.
Both paints faded exactly the same somehow.
Yes.
Because that was the other thing I remember doing when, for first hangover run, what the fuck?
You went and did
For
like
some
Pantene color
reason, I
samples.
was trying to figure out the correct color code, or at least try to get it close enough.
I don't remember why we were figuring it out, but we were.
I
working
don't
on it.
remember either. It was for fucking something.
Yeah.
And
You found it.
it was in between like 8 different color codes.
I think that color swatch is still in the glove box of that truck. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did print them.
You got
out.
literal color swatches from like the store to match it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the faded, awful orange red. But then they're
Such a good color.
cleaned them all up. Now they actually seal way better. And that's how it's basically sat since then. Bilstein shocks, Hydro Boost brakes,
The
way
shocks were a motherfucker to put in.
better. I took it out and put it back
I
in by
know.
myself. It was so easy.
added a winch.
Added the winch.
Added a winch.
Kind of stubbed the front half together a little
Yep.
bit differently. I
Cleaned
still need
it
to
up.
put a brace or a stinger over the winch to kind of seal
Yeah.
up the front, but it fits. It's tight. Nothing hangs down. Like the lowest point is it's the exhaust.
Oh,
Then
sliders. You did add sliders because
my
that
rock
was,
sliders.
That was a big like nervous spot. The first hangover run was you not wanting to crush what you just brand new put in was
the
rocker
floorboards and
panels.
everything.
Which you can see all the black sheet metal behind the door. Everything behind that's brand new. The entire floor is basically brand new.
Yeah.
Didn't want to crush that into a million pieces immediately.
As someone who has put rock sliders in the area that got crushed already, would have been way easier to do it before it got crushed.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Yep.
So
that is where it is at now. So we're talking about my truck. It's all that nonsense.
Yeah.
94 F350 OBS Ford single cab.
got a lot of
bed.
attention at the campground.
The people were
The
loving
people
it.
loved the crawler
Oh,
hauler
yeah.
setup, and if somebody came up and talked about the trailer setup, they came
talked
up.
about the
Their friend came up and was like, "What the fuck you got in that F350, brother?" Literally, like to a T. If there was 2 or 3 people who walked up, they're like, "All right, dig in the trailer camper setup." Also, what the fuck's up with that F350?
They would look at all of our stuff and then be like, "Oh, hey, that Jeep's kind of cool too."
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, that's what that. It's a Cherokee. It's been done before. You know, it's a tried and true." So
for our Memorial Day plan, our plan was to go to Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch.
which I've been wanting to go to. I've been bitching about this for probably 6 months.
It's about a what, 5-6 hour drive?
6.5.
yeah.
6. Okay,
Yeah.
not horrible.
So we ended up not going.
Everything
because-
out of besides Badlands is 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we were
Yeah.
planning on going, had it all figured out, and then it started raining. Apparently,
yeah, I know the final number. Do you?
I heard one of the numbers, but we're gonna watch
Yes.
this little reel you sent me Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Could turn the audio off.
I was still in bed.
Yes.
I was
It has
still. We woke up Sunday morning in the camper, and I see this on their Facebook page. I'm like, hey,
So
Brian,
this is the Off-Road Park's
This
Facebook
is
page?
Southern
this is-
Missouri Off-Road Ranch.
This
yes.
is where we were going
Oh,
to go.
hey, that looks like there's a river.
So I'm just gonna play this. We have to turn the audio off because it's got
copyright
music.
but
It's a banger. It's Rain by Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So just imagine that. But this is
Ironic.
the park. And there's a
River.
there's a river
Yeah.
running through it.
That's a raging river.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
This is where we were gonna be at
Yeah.
Yep, nope.
until Thursday. I'm
So,
like, hey, it's
no,
gonna rain.
We were spitballing. It looked like it was going to be about 5 inches of rain,
5 to like 7, I
It was
think.
like-
and then
I
it
heard
turned
was the
into
most.
7. Do you know the final number?
It rained 7 inches by Saturday morning. That's what I know.
Through the whole weekend, it rained 11.5 inches.
That's a lot.
By
of
Monday
rain.
morning, it was 11.5 inches of rain.
That's a lot.
So probably a good call we didn't do that. Oh, also, my buddy Alex
Grunder.
from Iowa, he has a
ridiculous little
Suzuki
sidekick.
sidekick.
oh, yeah.
The thing's ridiculous.
Suzuki sidekick, super cool, very unique build, a lot of very unique pieces in that.
It's like a
It's
high-
his brain never
it's a
stops.
custom build.
He
at that
machines
point.
pieces
fully
for it.
yes,
Yeah.
fully custom.
Yeah.
Very cool rig. I told him, I'm like, hey, we're trying to go to S'more. He said, bet. He was doing Ironman GNCC, which is the
shit.
dirt bike race. Very notable, one of the most famous races.
Where's
in the
that
country.
one at?
Indiana.
That's right. Yep.
It's a woods race, literally known for being one of the hardest in the country.
It's
in
a-
Iowa.
it is
Or it's
abusive.
in Indiana every year.
Don't let coworker Joe go there. He'll kill himself.
He knows about it.
He
I
knows
know.
about it, yeah.
I've known about it forever. I didn't even realize it was in Indiana, but yeah, it's notable.
Right.
But
So
he did that the weekend before, and then I told him about this. He's like, I can't guarantee you that I will, but I'd like to. I'm like, all right, bet. Me and him talked the whole week of looking at the weather and shit. Brian brings it up on Thursday before the podcast. I start telling him, I'm like, hey,
It's
they're
gonna
getting a
be
lot of
bad.
rain. I think we should just go to Badlands. We're also kind of spitballed about going to Michigan.
And going to Hollerwood in Kentucky.
Oh,
was the other
Hollerwood
one.
was also going
But
to
they
get
were-
rain, and
when
they
it-
also have tacky mud, whereas at least Missouri's mud,
It's kind of rocky.
it's
mud.
kind of
yeah.
rocky and sandy more just in general.
It would have been okay, but
yeah,
not
it would have been
that much.
better for sure than Kentucky
At
and
like
Tennessee
3-4 inches of rain. It would have been tolerable.
Yeah.
Not at 11.
mud.
We would have died.
Thought about going to Michigan. Thought about doing some trips. Just little spitballing
We just-
plans essentially.
We sat for like an hour. We're like, what about this? It's like, well, yeah, but no,
Yep.
but this.
So eventually, I'm like, let's just go to Badlands. My buddy Jeremy Wilson's going to be out there.
8 Lug Productions.
Had a
And
couple other
Ayo.
people who might have gone.
I was actually going to mention we should have Jeremy on for this, and then I completely forgot today was Thursday.
Hey, yeah,
So
true.
maybe next
It's been a
week.
busy
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, it has.
It
been.
also we started the week on Tuesday
Oh,
because
it's-
of Memorial Day. So
I didn't.
My whole week's ruined, but
Yeah.
yeah, well, shit.
we'll get to your
Well, next
week
time we
later,
go
but
off roading with Jeremy, we should have him on. So.
This is true.
He is a pretty good podcast guest.
So
so.
he would be great to have on here. But we ended up at Badlands, which Andy's so tired of Badlands. We
I've
keep
been.
getting
I
there.
went probably 4 or 5 times as a kid. I went probably, I think, twice with my dirt bike after high school. Once with my Jeep, with my old Jeep,
the red Jeep. Yeah.
the red Jeep, and now I've been
Probably
every hangover
6 or 7
run-
times total.
every hangover run. So that's what at least four hangover
21
runs.
to now, yeah. 4 hangover runs. 2
Couple of customer appreciations,
2 to 3
couple of
different trips.
randoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there almost 20 times at this point.
Yeah. So you feel like you've seen the whole park.
I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, on different machines too. So it's not
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
oh,
dirt
you
bikes,
haven't done
4-wheelers,
this.
Jeep, Yeah, I'm just kind of actually soon to be Subaru.
Oh, that's true.
That is coming up. So
there's potential
there is
there.
going to be some difference
taking the shit boxes?
soon.
Are you gonna drive yours?
No, put it on the fucking trailer.
I got.
I'll
two
drive
spots,
mine
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but still,
I'd like to putz around in the shit
Yeah,
box.
no,
yeah.
that's we'll talk about.
we
that.
basically
That's
settled
coming
up on like we'll just leave in the morning Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
spend the day
1-day
there.
trip. You know,
We could
just
test the whole crawler hauler setup. We got time to change
Yep.
things. We're not missing anything.
yeah.
too
The
crazy.
only trip the crawler hauler done before that is from my house to Love's and back to like a dump
without
the
my
camper.
truck on the back.
Without Brian's truck. My Jeep was on the way back of the trailer just to even out the camper.
Yeah, weight
and Jeep.
distribution.
It did pretty fine. Like there was really nothing notable about it besides the fact that I took a corner way too close to the
Had to get used to.
Oh no! I
wide
drug
turn?
the fucking trailer through the ditch.
Nice.
Scraped.
It was one of those. If he
All of
stopped,
it.
it was gonna stop.
Yeah. So I just
More
barreled
power,
through it,
baby.
kinda.
Playing on that damn phone.
Yeah. Filled up all the gas. I did buy a generator.
Yes.
I've been telling myself I need to buy a fucking generator for like 3
kind of
ever
generator
since
did
I
you
bought
buy?
the ambulance camper. I'm like, it'd be nice to have a fucking generator.
Predator,
So you bought
brother.
a baller little generator.
Well, there's two that I debated about this for probably 2 years. Ever since
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing came out.
Shit, that
this is a
fucker
pretty
ain't
new
bad.
one.
This is a newer style generator.
This is an inverter generator, so it's pretty quiet. They also make the super quiet. They make the super quiet like boxed frame.
Yeah.
3,500 watt generator,
Is that peak or running?
peak 3,000 running.
Okay,
Um,
not bad.
all I have is a 30 amp camper. I don't need 50 amp
Yeah.
power, so 30 amp is perfect.
You're just running the lights and
AC.
AC is the big
AC.
one.
AC is the big one.
I was getting. So is your water heater gas or is it that electric?
it's gas.
But he forgot the spare propane tank.
Yes, it still worked.
it was fine,
but
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it needs very little electric to run. It's just
But
it's propane.
You got
Yeah,
a 45.
AC.
You got a 4550 Predator.
4550 Predator, fairly new. It's only been out for like 2-3 years now.
I was shocked how quiet it was.
Really?
It is
That
pretty quiet.
quiet?
Yeah,
It is-
I only have like a 20-foot cord on it too, so like it was still fairly close
Nice.
to the camper. We actually did not end up using it at night because
Right.
it was pretty cool out.
Yeah,
Um,
but we'll get to that when
but
we get
yeah,
to
I
that.
was
Perfect
running it
time of
during the
year to
day,
go
Ford
camping.
Blue with the AC on.
yeah.
Pretty good. Didn't really burn a lot of gas.
How
on it.
was the
We'll
fuel
get through the couple.
consumption?
We'll do the couple other things he did before the
Okay,
trip.
okay.
Made
Sides.
some drop-in stake pocket side skirts to go underneath the camper to keep all the shit in there.
Half the picture's upside down. Sorry,
It is
but
confusing.
Say,
Yeah,
what
I
the
didn't know how.
fuck
It's
am I
also
looking
black
at?
on black.
Yeah.
It's just plywood and 2x4s
OSB
and 2x6s.
in the design.
Oh, I thought that was steel. Like,
Yeah,
what the
no,
fuck did you
sorry.
have laying
It's-
on top
it's-
of that?
I took a
Ford.
picture of this and I'm like, you can hardly understand what it is.
It's forged carbon.
yeah.
For
No
a minute,
big
I was
deal.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I won the fucking lottery.
Yeah, he's rich now, but
If I ever win the lottery, there'll be signs.
you can buy sheets of carbon. It's not that much, but you built little front stake pockets to kind of seal in underneath the camper.
Oh, nice.
Ended up finally finishing the stair setup.
Hey.
I bought the lower section. It was off of a camper.
Yeah.
Bought it from a guy in Oglesby for $40.
Oh, fuck, $40. Take my money.
For trifold
Well,
steps,
the problem, the problem was trying to figure out how what
Yeah,
to
mounting.
do with it.
Yeah.
And he did all this without asking me once. This is
Wow.
I'm so proud.
Fabricator Andy.
I was worried because the lower step is 5 feet off of the camper.
Yeah.
If I have to bring Blue up these stairs, there's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
Yeah.
at least 250 pounds, 5 foot of leverage off of it. I'm like, this kind of has to be a little strong.
Yeah.
Like,
If the
To
front
a point.
if the front jacks aren't down on the trailer, it's pretty sketchy.
yeah, but
It rocks the
yeah,
whole
more
thing.
so, I was worried about the brackets I have to build. I'm like, I don't know how to do this and make it strong, like that strong.
Yeah.
See, and this is why, like, when I have to build shit like that, I'm like, all right, Brian, here's my idea.
Okay,
Here's the general shape. And he'll go,
I'll
no.
go, that's retarded. Just like your mud flaps.
do this. And you're like, yeah, it's kind of a lot
well,
better.
so what you guys don't know is I was staring at this for about 2 hours the one day.
yeah, that looks like a
Like
staring
I had
project.
the reason the cooler is next to it is because that's what the
The bottom was
collapsible
resting on.
set on.
Yep, that's your height.
And it was almost perfect. And I'm like, all right, like let's figure out a bracket, figure out how to tie it all in together, blah blah blah. My neighbor starts mowing the grass. He's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Well, pondering. This is the like I don't have to. Nothing's. This is the week before. I'm like, nothing has to be done yet, but I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing
Gotta
because
figure out
I
how this
don't
works.
know." But yeah, built some nice simple legs.
Basically L-shaped brackets.
L-shaped
of like
brackets
1.5
with
inch
a
tube.
bolt-on lower kicker to strengthen it even more.
Yep.
Did a nice little aluminum plate on top of it. That way the stairs that fold out of the camper can sit on it.
Yes, because they fold out and have their own legs, but they're made to be sitting on the ground. Not
Yes, which is
3
2
foot
foot
in the air.
down, not 5. I needed 48 inches technically total of stairs.
Yeah,
So
and they're not made for that.
yeah, but
yeah.
the setup worked pretty well.
Turned out pretty
I was
nice.
pretty happy with it. So
So Marcus want to hear about fuel economy, and he's gone in the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Can't have shit out here.
yeah.
But yeah, basically we
Crawler
left.
hauler setup did like that. Like I said, the best thing of the weekend was a crawler hauler setup. Had zero
I should
complaints
have
on really.
pictures of it actually all
Yep.
set up together.
Yeah, this might be my picture.
This
but
is
yeah.
your picture. I have one
Yep.
up at the Casey's because you got to stop at the Casey's.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the time my truck overhangs the back, it's as long as a full loaded semi.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long setup.
Long.
Here it is at the Casey's.
Yep.
Oh, can you see it? Oh, you
What's
can't.
that?
The car trailer behind it that's in disrepair.
Oh yeah.
This little orange thing back here is a car trailer. The whole left side is just completely busted.
Fucking broken wheel, bent axles, missing tire. Like,
Did you notice
it's
it's
all
still there?
Oh, I didn't.
It's
I
still
actually,
there. I think
I
they
did not
abandoned
notice that.
it.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, there's both of our things set up on there, getting some diesel. So yeah, this setup worked amazing. Other than stuff started sliding around and we weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah, I need to do a little bit better. Actually, I ended up that whole yellow tote ended up fitting into the storage area where that door is, and then also like brought some shit inside, so that's gone.
Yep. There was a couple of fuel cans in the front. They were almost gone.
Yes, almost. All in all, it worked out, but yeah. So
Yeah, generally worked really well. all
first
things
time
considered.
towing, just kind of had to figure that out. But yeah, no, overall, like I said, crawler hauler setup did great. Can't wait to try it again. Get more used to it.
The one major problem with it, the paper towel roll unrolls
took a
the
picture.
it unrolls the entire roll into the sink when you drive it down the road.
Yeah.
There is an entire fresh roll of Bounty just laying in the sink right now.
Yeah.
Because I had to pee, so we just like pop it open and hop in there. I'm like, oh, you're gonna want to see this. This was probably a brand new roll.
It was close. Yeah,
Sad.
Like
for sure.
just pound of.
Yep. Every little bump, it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
But you've got a nice tensioned paper towel roller.
I have that in my garage.
Your garage, not
So
in
like,
here.
so that you have to pull it and then like rip it off.
This
Should
is-
swap that out for this
I
one.
would,
This
yeah.
should go in here.
Yeah. So that's probably gonna happen. But
Hey,
yeah.
new camper. Nothing else inside the camper went horribly wrong.
Yeah. No. Like I said, the whole rest of the camper. Worked out
other
pretty
than
well.
the freshwater tank, if you turn right, it just sprays out the side of the
I had it a little full. They tell you to leave like a couple inches from the top of the tank so that
Yeah.
it doesn't do that. I blasted the fuck out of some Kia with the freshwater. The freshwater just, it came in like the fill.
Yeah.
It just started coming out of the fill.
Hey, at least
And
it was
just-
the fresh water, not
Exactly.
like the black water.
He did. He probably
didn't
was.
know.
The guy passing me probably thought
Free
it
car
was
wash.
shit water. But I'm like, I feel so bad because it's literally just a garden hose at fucking 70 mile an hour,
Out the side of this
dousing this
thing.
Kia.
Free car wash.
So speaking of 70 mile an hour, we ended up settling at what, 72?
70 to 72,
was
depending.
about
yeah.
as much as we drive, just
Yep.
to get whatever fuel economy we could.
I'll say, do you want to take some guesses, gentlemen?
So this thing weighs
I'll say, do you guys remember what I've gotten in the past with other trips?
Yes.
not
Okay.
great. Usually, the
Yeah.
truck
I'm gonna say like 9.5.
3.2.
The truck weighs 32,000 pounds now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's towing.
Most it's ever towed, I'm almost positive.
Oh, it's got to be. You're getting close to like the limit of that
Yeah.
truck.
Right.
For a single tire, you're probably over it. Actually,
9.5.
no.
No.
It gets like, put it this way, it would get like 8 towing the single trailer with his Jeep on it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
My-
like,
all right,
so
4.
I'll say
My-
empty trailer, nothing on it, just a 3,000 to 4,000 pound trailer behind it. I'm usually getting 10.
My truck, my 4-cylinder towing my Honda gets under 10. It's about 10.
Good lord.
So this does not get
4.
9.
4.
Shockingly enough,
Worst I've ever gotten was the
3.5.
ambulance camper
Well,
before
with
the wedge.
the Jeep behind it before the wedge.
That was like
it was a
6.
flat face.
Yeah.
6.5.
Yeah.
good lord.
This got ended up averaging 7.
Wow. Okay.
It got up to 7.3.
It started getting pretty good at some points.
And then it got really windy from Bloomington up north, and then I was like,
Yeah.
"It's going back to 7, Brian."
I think we
son of
lost
bitch.
a mile per gallon from Bloomington up. It was
Almost,
brutal.
So yeah,
But yeah, the fact that it's into the 7s is still nuts.
Yeah.
For what this is.
It's closer to double digits than it is to single.
For how not aerodynamic the setup is.
Yeah.
I'll take it. That's pretty. That was pretty solid. And when you split fuel costs, it's really 14, so it's way better.
Kinda.
So, how much did y'all spend in gas?
It was
A
it's
full
120. It's 120 miles each way. It was one full tank. It was
Yeah.
$175. So
It really wasn't too bad.
All right.
Yep.
It's not horrible. So,
But yeah, we got there. We rolled in a little bit before, about 11-ish, because the time change
dang,
killed us.
look at that setup.
Posted up hard.
Posted. What the
Ended
fuck's
up-
on your wheel? Package?
a box,
A box.
of I have my
Spare parts.
spare.
Oh, you joints and shit?
No, hydraulic
fluid.
steering fluid.
Yep.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. All my other parts are in boxes and stuff.
His
but
air
that's-
compressor is now pack out mounted.
I put
just crazy
I
things.
I bought this, like 2 years ago. I bought pack out mount feet 3D printed before you guys before I even would have thought it was also like $5.
I
on
still wouldn't
fucking
have made 'em
Amazon
for
or
you.
whatever.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
Just bolted plywood on the bottom of that and then screwed the feet to the plywood, and now
Fuck it.
it's able to be locked in at least enough to get to the campground.
Yeah.
Then I take it out
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
better. So yeah.
But yeah.
It has a secured-ish place to be
Yes.
transported.
Yes. If I had back glass
next to the wide open rear window.
Yes, if I had back
fine.
glass, it would be at least contained. But yeah, it just kind of rides there. But
Yeah.
it's fine. It lasted.
But no, got in, got parked, got checked in, whatever. It was about noon when we start to roll up to the check-in. First, got to air down. Using my Morflate air hub.
Yep.
Snort
And
plate.
4-tire deflator.
Fuck it, this thing's so sick.
Yeah.
It beeps and makes a bunch of noise.
Did you take a picture on the second campsite or no?
No. I
Okay.
did not.
So
we
did
ended
you-
up being in the wrong camp spot.
I gotcha. So
And
did you?
we didn't know that until way later in the day in the most unopportune time
Yes.
to be
To
told.
We
move.
will get in, but you see how there's a gravel road right here?
Yes.
The map showed us parked in the corner of a road.
yeah.
Not the gravel road, a grass road in this parking
Yeah.
lot.
Didn't realize it until it was way too late. And I'm
Yeah.
like, my bad, bro.
But we'll get into that when we get to
yeah.
that. But yeah, got checked in, got aired down, took a couple hard pictures.
Hell yeah.
Was going to post them and then just forgot to, but I'll post them later with something probably. But
No, you won't.
aired
yeah,
Andy
ended
down
up-
to 11. I went 7 and 5. I'm usually 5 and 3, but I gave it a little bit more just because I'm like, we'll see.
We'll see if ground clearance maybe gets a little better with.
And then
more
I
air.
saw the coolest guy in the
coolest
parking lot.
setup.
Is that a Golf?
That's
No,
a Focus
that's a Fiesta.
Oh,
that's a
that-
Focus
yeah.
ST.
Focus ST, sorry.
Towing a KTM 2-stroke.
I thought it
on
was a
little-
Fiesta. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
the next size bigger,
Lord.
Yep.
but like this thing's tucking the rear tire. Like I just roll it. I'm
It's
like,
already lowered. I'm pretty sure either way. But
I don't know if it-
No,
it's-
that's stock ride height in the
it's
front.
just squatted a little bit, but I'm like, he's
Good
got a little like
Lord.
PW50 and a KTM like 252 stroke. I'm like, this guy's so cool. Didn't see him
dude
anywhere.
fucks.
yeah, I didn't know who it was, but it was a dope setup.
I'm like,
I will say that.
I'm like, God, I got to do this. I'm like, my car can't do this. I don't have. I don't have enough
I'll say,
ground.
what's the towing capacity on a Focus ST versus a Fiesta?
Well, you're adding weight.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
not.
wanna
It's
slow down.
It's not this much, whatever it is. This is like you pulling an enclosed trailer with your Crown Vic. Yeah, it'll do it. But
They ain't
damn.
gonna be
It's not
happy.
gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, we checked in basically right at noon and then get out on the trail.
12:04 to be exact.
yeah, I took that picture at noon exactly.
Okay, yeah. So
and then
yeah,
we walked in.
5
checked
minutes
in.
later, got our shit, went down.
Went to meet
Jeremy
Jeremy.
and his buddy Sean was already there. Sean ends up actually he runs the same tires as me. He's on a TJ, a little bit shorter wheelbase, but same engine and everything.
Wow.
Tons 40s. Yeah.
We go to obstacle number 1. That is Slick Rock Falls.
Yeah.
Is it Slick Rock Falls or just Slick Rock?
I call it Slick Rock just because it's simpler. Slick Rock Falls is what TOP
Potato,
refers to it as.
potato.
Yeah, Slick Rock.
Yeah.
So,
It looks like a giant slick boulder.
and that's because it just literally
It
Kind of
is.
is. Yeah.
So
Did you cut these down at all yet? Or
I didn't. I'm just gonna skip through them a little
Okay,
bit.
10-4.
But this is Jeremy's rig, 8 Lug Productions.
Yep.
It is a
6-liter LS Atlas.
Wow.
Tons 39s, which measure a little small still.
You can hear it.
I'm gonna put some audio in.
Coilovers. Yeah. Pretty well full build.
Yeah, full hydro in the front.
No, he's assist.
What? I thought it was full
His
hydro.
is a street air.
Are
I'm
you
almost
sure?
positive.
I'm
It used
pretty
to be.
sure-
I know.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
no,
it's
no.
full hydro.
He did go full hydro now.
I do want to
He sold
appreciate
his assist ram to
the
Sean.
tire fold in this.
They're soft.
BFGs they do fold well. They,
so
his
good.
he's. I have watched these tires perform for the last 4 or 5 years. They don't impress me.
They're good.
They work well most of the time, but every now and again, I'm just kind of disappointed in them. Just like he likes them, he's looking at something new now. But like the more I watch these, I'm like, man, like
They should do better.
they should do better. I
Yeah.
wish they did.
That's why they make a BFG red sticky.
Yes.
They take this and soften it way up.
Mm-hmm.
These are still a street tire technically, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, because like you would think he'd grapple over this and get up.
The tires are. I mean, this is an aggressive obstacle. There's no two ways
yeah,
about it.
but like those are some aggressive ass.
he kind of
wheels.
reshoots a couple of times and bounce forward.
For reference, this is the obstacle I hit on 35s.
and snapped your.
This is where
My
Steve
shock off.
Steve
Yes.
broke a drive
And
shaft.
Steve
Andy
broke a drive shaft. Steve was struggling with a lot of
Axle
bounce
hop.
and wheel hop.
Mhm.
Yeah, axle hop. This is what made me think if I hit it with the same momentum on 40s, I could have gotten up.
Give her some ass.
That is what he is.
So this was literally the obstacle that I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to tons.
But you could see as soon as you get off kilter, the whole side just starts to kind of unload.
The passenger side of he gets really tippy here. The
I think
passenger
it's
side
this
is
one,
a
yeah.
multi-foot drop. You will roll and it will be bad.
Yeah, like, I think
downhill.
That's
hard
why he's
rock.
going so slow here
you see
to
it just slowly-
not try to slide off the passenger
it
side.
just chirps to the side slowly and steadily.
Mhm.
There is a hole there.
He did a very good job of not rolling this. I was honestly really worried.
I thought it was happening. I'll be
I
honest.
really was too.
There was a moment I'm just like, ugh, that's bad.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if he knows how much it drops off.
There's you yelling at him, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, just I don't want to see this really nice rig flop. That's
But you
all.
just watch his rear tire just unload, just gets light as it bounces
Yep.
around.
Yeah, front driver was already light.
Mm-hmm. A lot of weight into this hole.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
like,
pretty serious fucking hole.
Seen
on
him
that
backing
side.
off. I'm like, that's a good call.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
I mean, it's still light and floppy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just get forward a little bit more.
There he goes. A little bit straighter approach.
Skip ahead a little bit.
Yep.
This is a long clip, so I don't want to skip too much of it, but
He
Should
ends
be.
up finding just enough traction
Which you see
on
is-
his front tires,
Mhm.
and he has a little bit longer wheelbase
Yeah,
than me.
he's getting there. You can see the front starting to kind of grab
His,
a
yeah,
little bit.
his front is
Upper
starting
ledge.
to pull rather than
Yep.
just the back doing pushing.
Yep.
Yep.
I believe it just gets hard on it.
Yep, little bump.
Yep.
Oh, there you
Just
go.
kind of bounces up it.
Mm-hmm.
There
Did
it
you
is.
get Sean's?
I did not. So Sean is actually right here in the Milwaukee.
Yeah,
get
in
up.
the red shirt. He has a red TJ, like I said, 40-inch tires, same exact as me. Hydro assist, not full hydro. TJ, shorter wheelbase than me. He literally spends 10 seconds. He drives up it. He gets where I'm about at right here in this picture here. Once he gets to here, he kind of just picks a line, drives up it, drives away.
Bounces up.
I'm
it
like,
clean.
you gotta be fucking kidding me. Because I tried it before him, but he made it look way easier.
Yeah.
I also do want to mention, look, you're doing Jeep things.
Oh
You're
yeah,
took the doors off.
I forgot to mention. I did make door pins. I am able to remove my doors. The visibility is way better.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
way cooler.
Until Andy drives into a mud pit and says, "Hey, watch this!"
I
as
was
the mud
worried
gets
about
thrown
shit.
into
Yeah,
his face.
I have fixed the floor hole, but now I don't have doors, so it could happen again. But yeah, I was worried the whole on the entrance road coming up. I was worried about like the water splashing up. I'm like, man, having doors might be nice because I might be covered with fucking mud by the end.
Yeah.
of
You
the
should
day.
just make like a half door.
Half doors are very common, or like
Yeah.
tube doors
Yeah.
are very common too.
Just put a 2-piece tube door on there, and then just a piece of like fucking acrylic sheeting or something. Just something.
Well, I like being able to look at all the
Well,
things
yeah.
on the outside of me, so I don't even
You
want
just
doors
make them
at all.
short. Like
I'm either gonna get
UTVs.
I'm either gonna get dirty or I'm gonna not. So. But yeah, this is for reference. This is a very long clip. I'm assuming it'll be the whole time, couple minutes. I struggled a bit. Oh, I forgot to mention. I did end up cutting my rear tires. I bought a tire groover, a
yes.
hot knife tire groover on Amazon, about $250, $200 for that, and then the right size blades and head was another $45 or something. So I got
How long do those blades last?
I have a
Pretty long.
package of a dozen. I went through 5 of them to cut my 2 rear
How much?
tires.
How much are they?
Blades are cheap. The head is like $20. So
okay, that's not
depending
horrible.
on what you need them for,
Well,
you just
yeah.
have to buy a new head and blades.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Buy a dozen.
Yeah.
Buy 2 dozen for 4 tires.
That ain't
So,
bad.
Yeah.
So you cut the rears.
Cut the
Which you
rears.
You can kind of see that.
Yeah,
the
there
tread
is quite a bit
difference.
of tread on them.
They were completely bald before he cut them.
They were
Your ball.
10 to 15% tread, probably. Yeah.
Well, they were expired, but they had some tread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. As far as how much of a groove they made in the ground, it was not a lot.
Not a ton, no.
Yeah. So.
I'll skip ahead just a little bit.
Yeah, you can skip a lot. I'm just kind of trying to find a decent line, finally get the front end up.
Kind of trying to crawl it.
Yeah, because I'm like, now I'm on 40s, I can crawl it. Last time I hit this obstacle, I was on little bitty baby 35. Come on. I can do this shit now.
Kind of braking gas.
And I'm
drive,
trying to
truck
do,
drive.
you can see my passenger front's kind of climbing like Jeremy's was, kind of trying to find that same line, you know.
It's that little kind of bunny hopper. Like, you could feel it grab, but not enough to pull
it's
itself
grabbing
up.
a lot. But I'm also at 11 PSI, non-bead locks, and non-stickies.
I say,
So,
you can see it in some spots on this. You can see your tire fold flat.
Fuck, you were so close on that.
you just wait.
It's like I wouldn't go any less than 11 on this setup.
No,
I'll say
'cause-
between 10 to 12 seems to be a pretty happy spot
You
without
kind
bead
of,
locks.
more specifically on these harder things, you kind of have to bump it a little bit.
Yeah.
And with that added PSI, it's going to keep them tires inflated and on the bead properly.
Yep.
Versus
the
if
lower you go, the
yeah.
more chance you're going to blow
I mean,
off the bead.
yeah, it'll be nice to go lower because that tire is going to deform over the obstacle,
Yep.
but at the same time, you're
you
running the
blow it
risk
off
of
the bead.
blowing the bead.
Exactly.
Man,
There's
that's
a happy
gonna
medium. I've
fucking
never blown a
suck.
bead before. I've had my 35s at 8 to 12 before. These I've had 10 to 12. I'm getting more rowdy with it on this clip.
Come on, this is kind of your first-ish time.
This is our
Second trip out on tons ever.
Yeah.
first obstacle
so-
of the day. It's
First
pretty
obstacle of the day
dry.
because Jeremy's like, hey, we're heading to the quarry. I'm like, you know where Slick Rock is? Go over there. He's like, yep, 10-4. And so this is the first obstacle of the day. Brian literally hasn't even put tires on an obstacle yet.
Yeah, we pulled up and he just started going up it.
Damn.
One of these.
I'm still just kind of like feeling it out. I really thought it would be more torquey doing a brake stand launch. It wasn't. So I'm like, okay, I really got to like lay the fuck into the pedal and
trying
try
to get up the hill.
Hammer
Trying to get
down.
A little bit different perspective. But you can see it's almost there.
It's
Yeah.
damn near there.
But it starts kind of unloading this inside because you're rolling off the side.
Again, like
It's
this kind
right
of shows
there.
more of the picture of like the passenger side drop. If you go down, it's going to be bad.
This,
Yeah.
like the front corner's fully off
Oh,
the
yeah,
ground.
fully.
Oh, I didn't
This is-
know that.
Oh,
I thought it
yeah.
was still touching.
Yeah, no, it's not touching anywhere.
No.
That's why it won't climb. But it's just right there the
I
whole
think
time.
right here I'm looking. I'm like, can my driver's side start to grab something?
See,
but once it does, you
yeah.
bring it off of the passenger side, and it's just not.
And then the
Yeah.
back corner starts to just roll down this hill. But that's basically it for that picture.
I gave her what I thought
I
was
have-
appropriate beans. I had the one.
I have
don't
one
think-
more.
We didn't look at it.
I have one more.
Ooh,
Th-
on
yeah,
this
this is the
backside.
lower
I
right
want to
side.
see this
Yes.
backside.
Yeah.
This is the opposite corner.
Is
of
this
it.
the one where I go fucking side to side?
You're going to find out.
Okay.
So this gives you an idea of how far you're going to fall off this.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
nasty.
long fall. It's a bad fall.
It's not ideal.
But yeah, I did end up trying over here too. I spent like 10 to 15 minutes on this.
On this wall.
Yeah.
Jeremy's just coaching you through a lot of it.
A lot of chirping going on.
But that's what your spotter's there
I
for.
mean, yeah, you have to.
It's a lot of like, get the right spot. Okay, this is the spot it works in.
Your lower passengers up on that rock too.
Slick rock.
Yep.
That's
And now
what he's
you're
trying to
climbing
get.
in the front.
Yeah, my passenger was trying to climb that the whole time, but it's just barely not
If
enough.
you were like 2 to 4 inches longer,
Yes.
That's what he was saying.
you would have literally gotten over that little crest and on top where your weight would have
Exactly.
settled.
Yep. The problem is this wheelbase works so well for everything else.
Just
Yeah.
not this one obstacle.
Yep.
That's why both you and Steve have hard times on it. 'Cause you're the same length, basically.
Turns out I
She's
have the
almost
exact
there.
same problem as Steve does: is wheel hop, wheel bounce, and
Not enough grip.
well,
Well, he might soon once he's on Baja Pro X's.
yeah, fair.
but
He will.
that's you backing off it there. One of these, this clip, I want to get to a point in this. I'm pretty sure it's about 4 minutes in. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm retarded.
I'll say I full send it once.
I think it's right here.
I would hope so.
I know I got a video.
Audio.
I have it on video. If not, I'll post it later. But
Yeah.
I know I've got it somewhere of you just literally giving it.
Yeah. It might be this.
There it is. This is it.
Rolling into it.
Motherfucker.
Redo that real quick. Turn
That's
the
it.
volume up just a hair.
Yeah. Give me just some raw audio here in a second. You hear Jeremy say, get into it, just stay in it or something.
Yeah.
Rip headphone
Notice
user,
two
sorry.
distinct boom booms.
Stay rolling into it.
There it is.
How hold on. Can you freeze frame or go frame by frame or no?
I can try to get pretty
I'll
close.
say because my
You
rear
should be
tires,
able to
once
with
I
the-
bounce
the
off
arrow
of it,
keys.
it's really high in the
Nope,
air.
it just skips way ahead.
Okay.
I can get to it somewhere.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah,
Yup,
that's
that's me.
How high
Hey,
does
buddy,
that go?
your back wheels are off the ground.
2.5 feet off the ground.
Well, you're
level.
basically almost level in that clip.
Yeah, you probably haven't seen this, have you?
You showed me that once,
But not like
I did.
this.
I have not went frame by frame.
If your front
from
tires had
That's
enough
the
grip,
thumbnail.
yeah, you've left the.
Holy shit!
You're over top of the slick rock. You're
Yeah.
just
yeah,
not over it.
I was hoping
Well,
my front tires were still grabbing
And of course,
pulling me.
what sucks about most of these obstacles
Oh,
is the
fuck.
rock face is not flat. They're cupped.
undercut,
Yes.
undercut.
So your tires get sucked into that undercut groove,
And if they're
you're
not-
trying to basically hop up that
Yeah.
ledge.
The problem is those undercuts are also 40 inches tall because
Yes.
40-inch tires are the most
Are used to
common
going over
tires
them? Yeah.
Now, so you need something bigger than like 10 years ago. 40-inch tires
Oh,
were
yeah.
a game changer.
Oh yeah.
Now they're the
Everybody
small
running
tire.
Well, and
yeah, they're a common. They're the
90% of
most
this rock out here at Badlands is sandstone, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So it
Mostly,
all just gets eroded away with enough
Yep.
people going over. But
Yep. Or you get tons and tons of rubber. Like this didn't used to be black
oh
entirely,
yeah,
but
yeah. That rock
the
is not
more-
black. It's sandstone color with
because it gets
black tire marks.
slightly
on
wet,
it.
so you can sit there and cook a tire if
Yeah.
you need to.
Yep.
So
Your tires were hot by this point.
Yeah,
This is-
you're basically like 5 below degrees from being level. So
you're pretty
congrats.
close
Yeah,
at your peak.
my rear
yeah.
tires fall, roughly 2.5, 3 feet.
Yeah. Oh, you can see full extension right. Oh, I'm not on the camera.
Yeah.
There we go.
But each rock slider hits individually. It goes boom, boom.
You said you can hear two distinct.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
tung, tung, each side. Yeah.
A little rough.
Little
Thank
rough.
God for the rock sliders.
At that point, you're like, maybe I stopped this.
turns out it
obstacle.
also might have landed on a leaf spring bucket, the front
Yeah.
leaf spring bucket.
You'll have that
Because it looks a little smashed now. But
So we're talking about that undercut. That's really hard if you don't have an anti-wrap bar.
Yep.
Yes.
Like my truck doesn't. So I'm like, well, if he didn't make it, he's way braver and has an anti-wrap. I'm not even gonna bother.
yeah.
Which
I'm
is
like,
fair.
My steering's still kind of tight. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fine, but I'm like, I'll skip this one because it's the first obstacle of the day.
I had 2 obstacles in mind. One of them was Slick Rock.
Mm.
Was really hoping to make it.
You're right there.
The second one was V-Notch.
I figured
which
it
is
was gonna
what-
be
It was
V-Notch.
what I got denied
You
on.
have been
because
trying to conquer V-Notch for like years.
But now he's
I
capable
wanted
of doing
to, but
it.
I've never been able to. I put my
Yes.
tires on it one other time with 35s. It just didn't happen, which understandable.
Yeah.
The rig was not capable of it.
Wasn't
period.
that the time you bashed your?
That was
oil
the second
pan?
time he'd been up
Second
on
time? The only other time I've been on tons was
was when you bashed
backing
your
off
oil
of
pan.
V-Notch because
You
I got
came
so
down.
tippy.
Yep.
I came down with no bump stops. It slammed my
Bang.
hydraulic ram.
Into
Came
the oil
off the
pan.
second ledge of V-Notch, and then it went even worse. And I'm like, oh, we have a real problem.
Yeah, you didn't know it did it worse until you saw the clip on here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
oh, I thought I heard something, and then it got way worse the second
got
hit. It's like,
louder,
oh,
yeah.
it's
That's
bad.
That's a great
I need
episode.
bump stops.
If you guys haven't seen it, but
So
then we come over to the
But yeah.
quarry. This
yeah,
is
just
the-
kind of start crawling around the quarry, the back wall, or
Yeah.
near the back wall,
Yeah.
essentially.
So there's the back wall. This is a line off on the left side right before you
Yes.
get
There's
to
a-
it.
There's a lot of good lines on the left-hand wall.
Yes,
for sure.
So
Is this the lower wall by the pond?
no, this
No.
is the upper for the very back wall.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So,
Oh yeah, okay, I know.
so
where
I'm
we're at.
filming from like
Yeah,
towards
the main, like where people take pictures and shit.
Yep,
that's over like directly behind where the camera is.
Right.
Yep.
So,
So there's a little like gatekeeper ledge up. It's just off to my left over here.
yeah, yeah. You
So
remember
we're-
that little like double hump gatekeeper? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I caught this as he's already rolling, so it's gonna probably skip half the audio.
Okay.
But basically, this is Jeremy going up it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what it sounds like. But it's 3 seconds long. But
You can hear the 6-liter LS. Yeah. A little bit.
the audio just like
There it is.
2-second clip. But
But you see,
yeah.
he taps it and you hear it rev and then
But yeah,
climb.
he gave it a good bump. He tried a couple times, like progressively more hard bumps.
Mm-hmm.
He's done, or this is the first time he got up it apparently, but
I think
he has
so.
given it many effort before. So.
Yeah. And then the other guy,
Sean.
I was gonna say Steve, but that ain't
Sean.
it. I knew that
not,
wasn't it.
Nah, not Steve.
I
Sean.
knew that wasn't it. He just did
Sean
the same
Ram.
thing and just idled up it.
Yes, yes. Sean. Yeah, both things I watched Sean. Or no, Sean ended up breaking the axle shaft on this.
He did break an axle shaft, but he still got it.
But yeah, he still ended
He
up.
broke
We
a
heard a big
U-joint.
pop, but he just kind of kept working up, and it was fine. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
he broke a U-joint on this.
I thought he was like gonna stop on it. He didn't. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay, well, cool.
So of course everyone else does it. Andy's like, I guess I'm next.
Yeah, fucking Jeremy's like, all right, I
Is
guess.
this the long clip? That's a minute.
Do you want to go to the or no? Let's do this one first.
Yeah, I'll do the minute clip.
Yeah.
Until we get to the point that I want to
Yep,
stop
yep,
it
yep,
at.
yep.
But let me put the audio on. Because from Jeremy's clip, I'm far away. You can't tell how steep it is. This is steep.
Yes. This is the steepest, almost steepest without like.
Look how the front tires aren't squatted at all.
Yeah.
And you're climbing 2 ledges
Yeah.
at once.
Yes, this is one of the most steep obstacles I've been on ever. Just the rock face in general.
And Jeremy's saying once you get on it, you have to stay in it to climb it.
Yes, understandable.
So,
it looked like it.
I'm gonna boost audio.
Sure.
Oh, we're talking about our sketchy fabricator, which is me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because your tubes are
There's
draining water.
coming out of my windshield bars. So my windshield bars are vertical for the most part. This obstacle is so vertical that they're now flat, and there must be pinholes at the top where it's not fully welded on the backside, and water's coming out and hitting my windshield.
Because we didn't take your windshield out to weld them. So there's
Ooh.
it's steep.
Ooh.
It
You were
is- it
very
is-
like the fact that your front
Yeah, it gets light.
your front like you can watch
see
it
it
tip
Unload up.
Yep.
Was it what you
right
bump 'em?
there.
It's right at the edge of it.
No, thank you.
Go.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear the noise?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let's switch to the other perspective.
Sounds like nuts and bolts in a blender,
Drivetrain.
baby.
things don't
Uh-oh,
sound
spaghetti-o.
ideal. So this
Yeah.
is a closer POV.
Now,
This
I'm-
was Jeremy's wife.
Oh, you put yourself in a
Fuck,
pickle.
I did. I shouldn't even have
Jeremy's
tried.
wife.
This is Jeremy's wife. Something with a K.
She's really cool. I'm gonna boost
It's
the
gotta be
audio.
Kristen.
she was,
right?
she was reading her book, you know.
Yeah. Collecting
Don't ask
rocks.
me.
Fuck, I forgot. You remember everything. Come on.
Don't ask me questions.
can-
This is on you. You screwed this up, not me.
I'm gonna
Jeremy's wife's perspective.
boost the audio on this, so don't talk.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know how long. Oh, it's 30 seconds. Okay, perfect. Everybody ready?
Yep. Give her the beans. No, that looks like something underneath snap.
Volume down.
Yeah.
Did you turn it down, Marcus?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back in time a little bit.
So
We can frame by frame this as well.
yes,
But
I did put it in slow mo and have that separate clip, but
do
I don't know
you?
if
I don't think you sent it to me.
I did not. I
Okay.
didn't know. Do you want?
We'll just scroll through it because
By the way, Jeremy's wife's name is Kristen.
that's what you said the first time. You were right. You're right the
KRISTN.
first
I
time.
got nervous. I
got
fucked it up. I fucked it up when I asked her. I'm like, wait, Kirsten?
To be fair, he's behind on the show, so we won't get to this for
Thank
a month. You
God.
have time to fix it, or listen to this first because he'll get caught up.
Yeah, right. I'm like, oh, I was out there with them. I want to see what they talk about.
In case people don't know, this show is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, everywhere.
Yeah, so if you're watching on one and you want to go to
Google
another,
Giggles.
you can do that. You should be able to do
Jeremy thought it was only on YouTube, just
Yeah.
for everybody else. So I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
on everything. He's like, really? He's like,
Yes.
I'll be damned.
that.
So if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you
we're-
want to do? You want to talk about this?
I say
Or
we
go
could just
frame by
we'll
frame?
frame by frame it and just
So I do want to say beforehand, before
Sure.
the show,
sure.
over the weekend, we did see a Snapchat from
Okay.
you very
Yeah.
angrily pushing the Jeep off the trailer and like basically making it hit a tree to stop and being like,
Kinda, yeah.
That's
I'm
kinda-
done.
That's kind of what
I
happened.
meant to
So-
screen record that too.
Don't worry.
I put it on my Snapchat story of I did like a recap. We'll see it here.
Oh, is it on there?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Did you guys not see that? It was like this is
No.
broken. This is broken. This is
I didn't.
broken.
No, you sent that to me so I could put it up here, but
Oh, okay.
you didn't. I don't
But-
think you posted that.
Yeah.
I thought I
don't know.
sent it to a lot of people. I thought I
So,
put that on my story
okay.
too.
You
Regardless,
there's some angry noises.
There's-
Let's diagnose and discuss it.
so there's a bunch of Jeeps over on this ledge. They all got very concerned with that noise.
I'm sure they did. I could have been mid conversation, turn around, and go.
So we'll watch it one more time in live speed, then we'll frame by frame it.
I know exactly
Oh.
what happened. Not
I
because of the
saw-
damage, just because I've watched this clip so
I
many times.
watched the rear end shutter backwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
That did happen. Good eye.
Good eye. Good
Oh.
eye. So what had happened was.
What had happened was
what happened?
if you watch all four tires,
Can I do playback in slow mo?
You should
Yeah,
be able to
VLC.
change speed.
Slower.
yes,
0.67.
that's probably perfect. Right here, you'll see my driver's
Yeah.
front and driver's rear kind of get grip at the same time.
Okay.
That causes the entire Jeep suspension to compress and decompress, aka make it jump. All four wheels are off the ground
Oh,
at the
yeah,
same time.
right there.
You could see it clear.
I've
as
watched
day.
this clip so many times, or at least the passenger side might not have been off the ground,
It was
No,
pretty
it was
close.
pretty
but it
fucking
was
close.
definitely light enough to make them all spin.
The whole thing side shifted about 2 feet.
Yeah.
So it basically hits the bank on the left hand side, spinning all four tires
With traction.
with traction.
Jumps.
It's light, lands. When it lands is when problems
Yep,
happen.
there it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can watch it gain 3 to 4 inches
And you
of
can
wheelbase.
watch the back
Yeah.
wheel.
Watch the back tire.
move.
Just,
Yeah, it literally gains 3 to 4 inches of stretch immediately. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So
Yep.
even in slow mo, it's hard to see exactly
So what
will happen.
happened?
What happened was
So what happened is the front leaf spring perch exploded.
yeah, the bushing, like the leaf, the main leaf in the front, which these are running flipped, so they are not double wrapped in the
Just
front.
gave up.
They are only single wrapped.
Left
in
the chat.
in it. Smooth break. Leaf spring broke.
Yeah. Look at how far back this tire is.
Goodbye.
now. It broke the front of the leaf completely off.
Yep.
And that's where things started going wrong.
So because of that, now that
Oh,
is
that's-
also still getting moved. It is now
Underpowered.
ripping whatever else is connecting that axle on that side.
Oh, no.
It clean breaks the brackets. Like I broke my anti-wrap bar off on Hangover Run.
Broke it in half
Broke it in
last
half.
year.
Snapped it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brackets are fine. No cracks, nothing. Didn't need to re-weld them, nothing.
Because you just looked at them when you redid the bracket, or redid the wrap
Literally
bar.
was in there,
Cut the bracket shorter. You were all over.
cut the
it.
bracket shorter. Yeah,
Yeah.
redesigned it. Brackets are fine. Ripped the brackets off smooth, like cleanly.
Oh, I'm
from
sure.
The one bracket is welded to the pumpkin, technically.
Yeah.
And the tube. The other bracket's all on tube. Welded both sides, everything.
The fact that rear end shifted so much,
Yeah.
and
It
also the
ripped
fact that your
after
leaf
the-
spring is now gone, so everything can basically shimmy.
Everything
Yes.
exploded.
Yes.
You're just it's just a failure point of snap, 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 snap,
Yes.
snap.
Yeah, it went snap front of leaf spring, and then it ripped.
Yeah.
the
It just rolled and
bracket
ripped
off of
everything
the-
else.
Which actually, we did a good job making the cross member of the anti-wrap bar because it had hundreds, if not 1,000 pounds of torque.
Oh, I'm
ripping,
sure.
ripping against it, and
Didn't
that bar
move
is
a
fine.
millimeter. Yeah.
So-
Somehow that held
Yeah,
up
4 half-inch bolts going through the unibody
with
that
a
stiffen-
quarter-inch plate that wraps around the exhaust.
Yeah.
If I'm like, surely
So,
it'll never take that.
I
much
should see if
load.
it's bent at all. I
It's
don't.
gotta
I'm a.
be.
We'll
It took,
see.
but
The
here's your
chain
little-
is only as strong as the weakest link.
Yeah.
Well, I
here's-
broke 2 links, 2
Yeah.
pretty important links, and then when I landed back with full power at all 4 wheels, it shock loaded the transfer case so bad that I lost all gears, or I snapped the chain. Whatever happened, I have not.
All you
not
have is
taken-
neutrals.
It can't be the chain because you'd still have rear drive. The
Yeah.
chain only does front drive.
Oh, okay, yeah, I broke shit.
You
It might
broke-
even be the transmission. I don't even know.
It made a bunch of noises real quick.
It sounded literally
and got
like
pissed.
bolts in a blender.
yeah.
Was how I and
But all right,
Jeremy, you
let's-
can in the clip we just watched, you can hear Jeremy say, "Was that gears or drive shaft?" I'm like, "Transfer case. I know it for sure."
My first thought was like, there goes that 14 bolt that we set up a little bit wrong. I'm like, you just ripped the teeth
Nope.
off of it, and then I see
Oh,
the front's
shit.
the front's not moving. I'm like, oh, that's way worse.
Luckily, no, way better. It's
Well,
$100 transfer case.
This is true.
from almost
Okay,
every
that's not that
junkyard.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
$100. It's a bitch to put in, but it's $100.
But it's a cheap part.
But yeah, so here's your little Snapchat recap.
yeah, I thought I put this on my story. Apparently not.
Do you want to read through
I
this?
sent this quite a few people. Yeah,
Yeah,
Read through it.
leaf springs ? Snapped. Anti-wrap bar ? Ripped the welds clean off. Drive shaft ? Busted U-joint. T-case ? Sounds like nuts inside of a blender. All in about an hour of being here.
this is at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
we
Good
checked in
for you,
We checked in
pal.
at
I
noon.
hit Slick Rock. I hit this obstacle. I broke at this obstacle. We went to the
it.
camper and drank the rest of the night.
So
Hell yeah.
This-
way to finish out the day. Creed and drunkenness.
So this picture is the floorboards inside
yeah,
his Jeep.
it
That's
pierced
the leaf spring.
floorboard. That is the broken
you-
leaf spring.
I cannot zoom it. I can't. I
Oh,
wish I
that's
could.
Yeah.
literally like the back quarter
it's
of
where
the
the
wraps.
trunk floor starts to rise from
Holy
the rear, like from the
shit.
rear seat floorboards. Yes.
That
Yeah.
fucker was not happy.
No, hold on. Go back to that where that freeze frame was. You can see where it was that broke. Technically, they did have a half
Buddy.
wrap So like it had one full wrap around it where the bushing is.
The full wrap
and then it
is
had a
gone.
half wrap.
It's not even like a full 360-degree curve anymore. It's bent.
No.
out.
No.
This-
That is the half wrap for protection.
This is the next lower leaf.
yes.
Yeah.
The actual eye goes up here and is just gone.
Yeah. I ripped the eye off of the leaf.
The whole
The
round
leaf
eye.
spring. It was 1.5 wraps.
Sheared it off.
Yeah, sheared from the bushing, which is pretty fucking impressive.
Ouch.
Yeah, so we'll go back down underneath it.
Yep.
There's the hole in the
That's
floor.
The hole.
There's
That's my
the-
leaf swing.
The spring is up here in the top of the frame,
Yeah.
not in these bolts.
Yep.
Huh.
The bolt's still there.
There's the anti-wrap
There's
bar.
the anti-wrap bar broken,
Totally fine.
ripped off. Yeah, the bar. Hey,
The bar's
the
fine.
bar is great. Thank God I don't have to rebuild that again.
There's the U-joint. And
The U-joint broke at least 2 caps off of it.
the shaft looks okay, but the U-joint's
Yeah,
definitely
shaft
gone.
should be okay.
Yeah.
Zip tied it up just to get it out of the way. You can see the broken caps.
But this cross member held up like a motherfucker.
The cross member's fine as far as I can tell. So.
The transfer case
In
probably
the words
exploded.
of our Lord, fuck it, I'll send it.
Well, I did.
He sent
And
the
here
shit
we
out
are.
of it.
And
Let me
so
go back like one frame. You can see the axle where it ripped the welds off of it. Somewhere right about...
yep.
See, there's giant rip marks on the
Yep.
diff
Yeah.
Yep.
where it tore it in half.
I remember welding those. Well,
Well,
helping
it happened.
weld those.
Being there. Yeah.
So yeah,
Huh.
that's
Well, ain't that a little bitch?
yeah. So things like that kind of happen.
Yeah.
So now the springs are way up through the floorboard,
Hmm.
through the floorboard,
Fuck.
and Jeremy got to tow it back with his 6-liter LS
When you-
Got a little bit of
wonky.
squat. So the fucking anti-wrap bar was dragging.
the whole way.
The whole campground is just like
they're all
they're all
pointing and
looking and like, what? And the one guy's like,
Monkey
you're
brain.
dragging something. I'm like, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
I know.
As it fell down, I went to honk at him like, "Oh yeah, I unhooked my horn because it got stuck in the winter the one day."
Yeah.
So I'm like on the radio, I'm like, "Hey, you're dragging." He's like, "Will it be fine?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like,
I'm
"Fuck
like,
it,
will
let's
it
go."
get into the tire? That's all I care about right
Yeah.
now.
So you can see how offset his axle is now.
Oh,
because it's all
the
twisted,
front
bound
axle
up.
is 2 inches wider on both sides, but
But this is
it's
still-
still not good. Yeah.
Right. So Jeremy's like, "I got an LS. I'll tow this thing back." I'm
He
like,
did it fast. He was towing me so fast.
So, how washed out was the main road? Was it as bad as I remember?
It's always
it's
bad.
exactly as bad as yours.
It's awful.
Well, we didn't go to the main road, so there is a gate near.
Oh, that's right.
The
There is.
quarry.
There is.
Sean, the other guy in the red TJ, he called the office. He said, "Hey, we got 2 broken rigs. He broke an axle shaft. He wanted to get out, and he had a spare shaft. He lives literally 10 minutes away.
That's why he's so good at this park. He knows
Dope.
everything about
Yeah.
it.
So he was able to bring a spare shaft. Had somebody bring it to him, whatever.
That turned into a debacle on its own.
Yeah, but he was able to get that. But he called the office. He's like, "Hey, we need 2 rigs to come out around from the quarry." Turns out the quarry is right next to the campground. It just you have to to drive
Get
through the
up
part.
it.
It takes a while. But if you come out that gate, it's literally just down the road.
It's
perfect.
one road. Take a right, and you're into the campground.
Yeah,
It's super
it's pretty
simple.
nice.
Like literally lifesaver for something like this, where it's like
Yeah.
getting this out would be a nightmare if it wasn't just one clean
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, because the main road into quarries kind of.
It's a washboard.
Yeah.
Their
at
their
best.
main road is awful.
Yeah.
Well, no, so main road, and then you drop into quarry.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Drop
that
into
part is hard.
quarry.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have
and-
had to tow rigs through that. It is hard.
Having to tow somebody back up, that would be.
It's-
I say, I'm like, I'm
motherfucker.
V8 1 tons of big tires. Like I can do it.
Oh yeah,
But it's
but
like
also I have to hold the brakes enough to keep the rope tight.
Yep.
But also I can't put too much brakes on it because it's gonna stop that tire
Yep.
that now has the whole rear axle has one point of contact that's holding it in.
Just-
It's
you don't
the
wanna
passenger
drag.
side rear
And the rear
leaf spring.
the rear shocks are connected. The one is bottomed out completely.
Both of them are unhappy.
yeah, they're not thrilled.
But yeah, I have 1 3/4 contact for to hold the whole rear end in, and I'm like, yeah, I can't drag the brakes that hard because
Nope.
it's just gonna make the
It'll rip
axle
it out.
drag and rip the rest of the axle out.
Damn.
So yeah, we drug it back to the campground. We were like, okay. I'm like, mine doesn't steer great. I'm like, we can just stop for the day. Like, it's not gonna get better. There's no point in me going out by myself
It's
with
now.
the
By the
there.
time we get to the trailer, it's 1:30.
call it 2.
And this was
Yeah.
a 1-day trip for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we're just there for the day. We're gonna drive home in the morning
So
anyway.
at that point, it's like, all right, cut your losses.
Yeah, this is a wash. We call this
yeah.
a wash.
Yeah, Jeremy's gonna wait for his buddy to fix the axle shaft anyway.
Yep.
this and
Jeremy
that.
was leaving at 5:00 anyway. He ended up going out to the. He ended up eventually getting out to the park for maybe another 45 minutes before he left. to go wheeling again once Sean fixed his Jeep. Sean was planning to stay. It was riding hours were till 11 p.m.
So it was a late.
It was a
day.
weekend.
It was a late day.
It was a
and we had
weekend, and we had
camping.
camping, so we had 2 extra hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it was 11 p.m. riding. I'm like,
And
well,
we stopped at 1.
yep,
Yep. Paid for the whole day. We earned it, but
yep.
so yeah, that was where that had gotten to. So we're like, all right, like I don't need to break my stuff. Like there's
Yeah,
no point in
that
us.
bad.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what you need to fix. You still need to adjust your steering and
I need
whatnot.
to either get more pressure out of my pump or have 2 pumps, one for the hydro boost, one for the steering, one or the other. But I'm like,
Yep.
I don't need to break my stuff with both of us in it.
Yep.
I'm like, Jeremy's gonna wait for him, and I'm like, you just want to stop for the day, and you're kind of like, yeah,
Sure.
that works.
We hung out. Yeah, we hung out for a while. We went up, got food, got lunch.
which was from a barbecue trailer.
I don't remember the name, but yeah,
I don't either, but-
Barbecue, very good.
Ooh.
I had smoked sausage,
That looks
mac and cheese.
good as
Yep.
fuck.
I had
pork.
Cajun meatball mac and cheese, and then also a pulled pork sandwich.
This was like $22.
It was expensive, but it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. So it's
Looks good as fuck.
it's one of those things you're like, yeah, let's just do it.
I'm gonna treat myself.
So we ate that, came back. Once we ate it, we're like, okay,
Yeah,
let's
hung
get
out for a little while longer, and we're
like,
like,
let's put the Jeep on the trailer.
yeah, get it up there, be done. Like, if we need to take Brian's truck and do anything, whatever. Maybe we fucking talk ourselves into going night wheeling.
We were
and just
gonna-
cruising around.
We were
Whatever.
gonna try to go to Brendan's house, who's
Oh,
like half
yeah.
hour away, but he was busy all day.
Yep.
So we're kind of like banking on him answering, like, yeah, sure, and we just never got to it.
Yep. So I'm like,
So-
all right, yeah, let's go ahead and start loading up.
So-
Because I have the winch on my trailer that is ran independently by the battery inside the trailer. We're good.
And
should
no
be able to
gears.
winch the Jeep up, and get it up there.
So it's like he has no forward or reverse gear, so I have to tow him behind the trailer, flip
Get him
around,
lined up.
tow him
Tow
up
him
to
back
the trailer.
towards the ramp so the cable's long enough to pull me up the ramps now.
And it's like as he's climbing up the ramps,
Yeah, like no. Before I even get the winch hooked up, Brian just unhooks the rope from his truck.
Yeah.
and the random guy who was staying in the cabin was like, "Hey, you want me to hook up your rope to your winch?" I'm like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
go ahead and do that.
yeah, great guys.
And he hooks it up. Brian starts talking to 3 people who are pulling up in trucks, who are wanting to pull into the campsite that we are in. Because I'm in the wrong one.
because we're in the wrong spot.
And I'm like,
apparently.
I don't even have park. Like I have no way to stop the axles.
Yeah, like not to be a dick. Like you guys just got to sit here and wait until
And
I get this thing
and they
loaded.
were nice enough about it, but
That's
I'm
nice.
it's like
and-
they didn't quite understand how like in the middle of
My
this we are.
complete day is
yeah, like
fucked.
bro,
Just
like
give me like 10 minutes.
give me fucking 10 to 15 minutes to get
Yeah.
this up here, and then I'll move.
So look at
Yeah.
his map, like because they give you a map with your spot like
Yeah.
highlighted
And a highlighter,
you can't read the numbers.
Yeah, the
on
numbers
them.
on it's a fucking from a printer, so you can't read them. So
Well,
you
and
trying
I'm
to-
sure it's a copy of a copy of a copy
oh,
of a
absolutely,
copy.
yeah.
So
it's
I'm trying
like-
to work with him, figure out where he's supposed to be, where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they had the 3 spots in the corner, which did make sense.
yes.
Fair.
Once we figured out, I'm like, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I glanced at it, saw there was nobody there. This guy pulled in at fucking 4:30
oh
p.m.
yeah, it was like late at this
I'm
point.
like, whatever, dude. Sure.
On
Yeah.
a Sunday?
Saturday. This
night.
is Saturday. 4:30. So I'm like, why were you not here Friday night?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
but
So I'm like, okay,
Anyhow.
I realize I fucked up, but also I
have to
can't-
finish this.
I'm not pulling fucking 4 different
Look,
pieces
man,
of shit around.
I fucked my parking space up. I fucked my rig up.
Well, also-
let me get unfucked for at least half of it.
I am by far the biggest and longest towing
Yeah.
camper setup in the parking lot by far.
You
So
gotta
I'm like,
give me a couple
I can't
minutes.
even navigate around this campsite easily.
yeah,
He eventually spins around. It's a F-150 and an a camper.
yeah.
Like a 30-foot camper. He spins around, gets parked in. Perfect. He's out of the way. 2 Dodges with open trailers with UTVs on them, whatever. And I'm like, they need to move so I can get out.
Yeah.
I cannot navigate around here with them where they're at.
Because they're basically parked in the crossroad of where we need to cross
Yeah.
to get to where our spot actually is.
Yeah.
And you gotta have fucking room to turn.
It's a fucking bigger than a semi. Yeah. So I'm like,
We're trying to move these guys as he's
yeah.
loading
Well,
his
first
Jeep
off,
up.
get my fucking Jeep loaded up. Fine. Whatever.
it worked all right,
Hey,
yeah.
disconnect the generator. Throw that up. Fold the steps up.
Yeah.
Fucking throw whatever
get
other
the dog
bullshit.
in the
yeah,
truck,
Get the
get the
dog.
chairs
Find
and-
her. Put her somewhere.
We're just like
Strap the Jeep down.
We're
fucking
like he's doing
put
that.
the ramps away.
We're scattering folding chairs up and
Yep.
doing this and that.
Yeah, because we were just literally just hanging out.
It's just a mad dash to
Yeah.
like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah.
We're done.
I'm like, you literally could not have pulled up at the like if you would have pulled up 20 minutes before,
It would've been no
It would have
problem.
been fine.
Yeah.
I just would have left my Jeep there and pulled out later.
yeah,
Yeah.
would have been super easy.
Instead, they pulled up at the exact fucking worst. I'm watching these guys pull up, and I know exactly what's happening from 100 feet
as
away.
soon as I saw him get out of the truck, I'm like, oh,
I'm like,
fuck.
motherfucker, I know exactly what the problem is. Like,
Yep.
this sucks.
But We did get it kind of sorted out, whatever. We got moved into the spot.
Yep.
The problem is the spots are about 25 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
We're-
They're meant for a pickup truck with a 16-foot trailer.
Yep.
We are 60-some feet long.
Yeah.
Like,
Not
so
good.
you're supposed to park long ways. We had to park we had to park
Sideways.
Yeah.
horizontally, I
Yeah.
guess.
Which, like, so since we were on the other corner, where that corner is, the corner separates the people who are going vertical
Can you
to
pull up
horizontal.
a map?
I cannot.
Maybe.
I'll try,
It
but you
might
keep
be on
explaining
their
it.
thing. But yeah, either way. So where the corner on where I was going to be the last vertical truck. I ended up going horizontally because there was no other. Go try off the trail.
I say, I'm
I
not
was just
just
gonna say, just pull up fucking Google Maps.
Off,
Well,
yeah,
it's
off,
hard.
off the trail might actually.
That's
pull
what I
it
was seeing
up.
if they had the
Yeah.
map just floating around
Maybe.
somewhere.
But yeah, the very last spot we were at, I was supposed to be vertical, but I'm like, there's literally like I will block off the entire campground if I park vertical. There's no way.
This is it. Okay, hold on. Let me open this new tab. Okay. Here's the off the trail map, right? So this is the side we're parked
yes.
on.
Okay.
This is the road. This is the gravel road.
Yes.
We thought we were in like this spot in the corner.
Yeah, 365 or 355.
We're actually in
whatever it is.
316, which is it's going
Oh,
Yeah.
opposite direction here.
The problem is my truck and trailer will literally cut off that entire road if I
Yep.
go vertical.
Yeah.
So I have to go horizontally, like
So we parked
317
we
is.
parked the nose of the truck up here at 314.
See, I took up 316 and 315, but luckily nobody came
while we were still
15.
there.
while we were there for 315.
But we reached out like into the middle of this grass road pretty far. It was one of those things like, yeah, I guess we're in the wrong spot. We'll figure it out. But man, it was cozy.
Yeah.
And it's like,
So.
can't level the trailer out here, so we're on an angle. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah, it got way
whatever.
worse once we had to move. Like it was pretty level before that, and then it just got way worse. So
But after we move it, we're like, you know what would be great right now?
Cold
Beers.
beer.
So we drive my red truck on 5 pounds of air into town, go to the grocery store. They don't have a fridge section with beer in it.
Nope.
It's all on the aisles, just
Yep.
in warm. We're just like 12 beers isn't enough. We need more than that after this day. So we got a 12 pack of Busch Light and then a 6-pack.
the last 6-pack of Miller High Life.
The champagne of beers.
Champagne of
kinda
beers.
hit. I'll be honest.
We're just like, maybe the glass bottle will cool down quicker. Like we'll fill the
Yeah.
cooler with ice immediately
Yep,
and just
ice and water.
cool these things down.
but yeah, no.
As we pull back in, the people parked basically across this grass road from us have the mintiest, freshest
like
quad on the
95
planet.
Honda 300 Sport ATV.
You got a picture of it?
Yeah, like you got to find like the brand new one from the brochure because they
That's-
had 2 of them that were literally
Oh,
No,
hell
hold on,
yeah.
Hold on. You don't
EX
even
or
know.
EX. Here you go. Yes.
So it's like they were
Damn.
perfect. I cannot stress enough.
Like the gloss was still
Yeah.
on the plastics.
No zip ties. The one still had the toolkit because the rear end of these 4-wheelers, they have an exhaust,
Yep.
which is round on the end.
Yep.
They have a toolkit
And a little-
underneath the other side
It's
fender.
like a little dry box type of
technically.
thing. Yeah.
But 90% of the time, they don't ever have the lid
No.
on them anymore, or the tools. And one of the 2 had the lid on still. I'm
Damn.
like, that is how you know it's a fucking minty 4-wheeler.
it looked every bit as this isn't the exact one, but it looked every bit as nice
dude,
as this.
90% of it.
Damn.
Honestly, yeah, you like
Here's
this
the
one
little
that has
box.
the lid.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like one of I've maybe seen 3 of these with the lids on the tool.
Good
kit.
for
Like
that guy.
the wheels are polished, the plastics
For
are
a
perfect.
30-year-old quad.
Oh yeah, literally.
spot. Like it might have been nicer than this one.
It
like this one
close.
has like some
Damn
dirt on it.
close.
It was
damn close.
like we pulled up and we're like, where did you find these?
Yeah, very very nice.
like it was
that
spotless. There was
Eventually, his
like
friends
3 of
pull up.
those.
They have a KX250F, very similar to the one that I used to own.
Your dirt bike, yeah.
He also has a CRF 450L, which is the dual sport that I want to own. He's like, yeah, I brought it in case my 250F broke. It's
Hell
just,
yeah.
It's just a
In the-
spare bike. I'm like, honestly, yeah, that's perfect. Like, it still has the mud tires on it. That's awesome.
It's just in the bed of his truck, just chilling there.
Yep.
We're just like, who the fuck is this
they had
guy?
2 Warriors, a Kawasaki Mojave 250, Trailblazer
Trailblazer, yeah, not
250.
Blaster. Like half of their stuff was unbelievably nice. The other half was like, oh, these are their beaters. Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
like, it's well, whatever's, you know.
yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I think that was about it.
That was the
Yeah.
majority of stuff for that.
Yeah.
And then like other dogs kept trying to mess with Blue.
yeah.
Oh.
So we're just like, I'm sitting out there, whatever.
Scrapping.
I'm in the middle of the shower.
Oh no, the one earlier than that, there was like a brownish, like kind of boxery dog or whatever. Like it had gotten
Not
off.
the- yeah, not
it had
the
gotten
little one.
off its harness.
Oh, yeah,
it had
that
a
one,
full
yeah.
wraparound harness that somehow got out of it.
Yeah, it was like a mini pit bull.
It
like,
wasn't
whatever.
very
It was
big.
it was young. It
Blue,
was probably
fuck it
less-
up.
Oh, dude, I was
my
like,
sit on
I
it.
was sitting here laughing. I'm like, that
The dog could drive.
Blue's either gonna kill it or like eventually just
Sit.
stop caring about it. Like
Yeah.
I am not worried about this at all.
Like
but
it kind of
dude,
ran up all excited.
Well,
Blue's
dude,
just
the
like,
dude had it on the harness, but also was like watching the kids on the 4-wheeler, like in the parking lot.
There was like two little.
There
kids
was a
on, like,
little
50 or
boy
something.
on a little like Chinese 110 or 50, whatever.
Yeah, it was
and
tiny.
then the daughter behind it, and he's like, brakes, 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 brakes.
As we have the little 4-post awning set up,
Yeah,
and they're
little tent,
driving
you know?
underneath it.
Oh shit!
Literally stops dead nuts in the middle of the awning. I'm like, well, you didn't hit it, so I didn't care. Like I thought you would just keep going through it at this point.
Yeah.
And the daughter's like, no, he tried to stop to hit the brakes. I'm like, I didn't really
like,
notice either way.
Look,
I don't
kid,
care.
you didn't fuck anything up. Just
But
don't
just
fuck
about the
anything up.
time that he's like figuring out what is like why his kid wasn't hitting the brakes is when the dog hops out of the harness, and I'm like, Blue starts to get like
Get
you
kind of
know, like,
riled up a little
not
bit.
territorial, but like just standing her ground, fucking growling. I'm like, and like they kind of go at it a little bit. I'm like, buddy, your dog weighs 35 pounds. I like it's a young pit bull. It's gonna be a full size pit bull, but it's not right now. I'm like.
Yeah.
I didn't have a care in
He
the
was
fucking
so
world, dude. I
unconcerned.
really didn't.
Yeah.
You're just like, go ahead and see what
Yeah,
happens.
I'm like, all right. Like, I grab Blue's leash, bring it back. The dog's still loose, and the guy's like wrangling the dog now. I'm like,
He's just like, I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't
this-
worried, dude. I'm like, oh, dude, like, hey,
You're like, trust me, I'm
shit
not
happens.
worried.
I get up, flip the 4-wheeler around for the kids. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and ride it back. Like, whatever, you guys are good. Like, I'm just hanging out.
At this
man.
point, we're just hanging out, drinking beers under the awning. It's just like, this is what
Pissed,
it is.
Yeah, I'm
fucking
like,
drunk, angry.
I'm
Not
really
yet.
well, not drunk yet.
That was
no.
like the first beer was warm.
Yeah,
we let it sit in the
Well,
ice. To
shockingly,
cool down.
no. It was room temp, maybe.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
wasn't hot.
It wasn't hot, but it wasn't cold. Like they had been in the cooler for maybe 10 minutes.
The can had cooled down, but the
Yeah,
inside
but the
fluid was
contents was still
kinda
You're
warm.
like,
warm,
it
yeah.
feels better.
It felt okay. It was enough to get through the first one.
Yeah.
The second,
rest
I think
of
we
them
had like
got
maybe
easier.
two. I had maybe two more, and then I switched to High Life and jumped in the shower. Had one High Life, jumped in the
Hell
shower.
yeah.
Had a High Life in the shower. Worked great. Hot water. Waited for the fucking heater to warm up. You know.
Yeah.
Besides it being on a massive slant, so all the water pooled up in the shower, it was a great.
It didn't go into
shower.
the drain as pooled, but
It honestly, even with it being off kilter, the drain is still pretty. Like you can still
Yeah.
just like there's a
a pretty-
very small amount of water pooled.
Just
up,
slosh
so.
your foot over.
Pretty
it a little bit,
much,
it'll be
yeah.
fine.
Actually, the shower curtain touching me the whole time
yeah.
pissed me off more than the
yeah.
water did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on such an angle, it's just like literally caressing. my
cling
whole
to your
body.
fucking
Like,
leg. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
other than that,
But still better than no shower.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
felt so good.
So all that, it kind of starts to get dark. We're like,
Yep.
let's just go wander around, see what everybody's up to, and kind of talk to people and like, oh, what do you got? What's
Yep.
this?
So
What's
a
that?
drunk quest.
Oh yeah, I mean, at
basically.
this point, yeah, like literally
We have
just
nothing
kind
better
of
to
sat
do.
there bullshitted around the whole time. And I'm
Nothing
like,
better
yeah.
than a drunk
There was a group of
quest.
ATV guys over on the side, and like they had come up and talked to us a couple times.
We were talking about my truck again, this
Yep.
and that. So we go back over there, like, what motor is in that thing?
Oh
Like,
yeah, talk
it's
talk about that for a while.
It's a 351, nothing crazy. It's so quiet. I'm like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got no cats and one muffler and 3-inch stainless. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I was like, if everybody wasn't like, "Oh, I love that thing," if it wasn't like them saying that they love the truck, it was like, "What is it and why is it so quiet?"
Yeah,
like
they're like,
those
"Why does
those
it
questions
sound like
happened a
that?"
handful of times.
They're like, what is it? Why is it like
Yep.
that? Why does it do that? I'm like, it's a regular 351. They're like, really? Like, they were shocked.
Yeah,
I love showing
It was either
people pictures of your truck.
apparently nobody ever. Well, when there's a million side by sides and like
Yeah.
3 Jeeps, they're like, hey,
Right.
that's a truck.
Like,
what is that?
yeah,
doing?
I
the
have
hell is
on
that
multiple occasions, like people are like, oh yeah, me and the wife go off, trail riding on the UTV. And I'm like, that's cool. My buddy's got a lifted Jeep on tons and 40s. My other buddy's got a F350 that we literally cut the entire truck bed off of and shortened it. And they're like,
well, that sounds cool.
oh, so you guys do like real shit? And I'm like,
Kinda,
I help.
yeah.
I love telling them that it's lowered because it is technically
It is
lowered like
technically
an
lowered.
inch.
Yeah.
It's lowered on 40s. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you just
Ground
trim till it
clearance.
fits.
Well, we did pass a crew cab long bed,
Oh.
like 12-inch lift on
Like
37s,
37s maybe.
like the exact opposite of Brian's truck on the way out to the quarry before we even broke her down.
It's like
I
an
was
extended cab long bed or something.
yeah, I hit Brian on the radio. I'm like, that's the same truck. Like
It's just so
that's
different.
what people think of when you say, "Yeah, I built a '94 F350." That's what they think of.
I'm like
not
low and wide.
his
He's
shit.
tall and skinny. I'm just like,
Oh,
these are
dude.
so different.
It's so funny.
And like he's like fucking loving it on the way out. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. But everybody loved the truck. So of course we go around and talk to everybody, kind of this and that. Where'd you get this? How long have you had this? Whatever. And then it's like 1 a.m. and we're like,
Fuck.
I bet Taco Bell's still open.
Oh.
Like, I don't know how far away it is. Like,
There is nothing better to conclude a drunk bullshit / quest than Taco Bell at after midnight.
because that hangover run, we had rode with Steve to Mike's house to fix his anti-rat bar on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped at Taco Bell. We're like, how close was that? Was that Vietersburg? Isn't that? We look it up. It's like, oh, it's in Attica. Oh, it's 6 minutes away. Oh,
Taco Bell.
They don't close till 2. It's like, oh, it's like the only thing we have is the red truck, and it's like a 7-minute drive. It's like,
Taco Bell.
so we're just kind of doing this, and then we're talking to people. It's like, yeah, we might go to Taco Bell later. Like, well, if you do, let us know. We'll take an order, this and that. Walk back over there. You guys want anything or what? They're like, you're kidding, right? It's like, no. We've had like 6 or 7 beers. Like, we're going to Taco Bell right now.
I could see myself with a toaster or with a ratchet strap.
Oh, what? A toaster?
From frame to frame, tied up like a fucking horse rein, riding in the back, while 3 of yous ride 4 deep
In the bench seat.
in the bench seat, going, "I'm going to fucking Taco Bell."
Nah. We asked them, they're like, no, we're actually good. Like, we just ate this and that. Like, I don't have any cash. I can't pay you. We're like, all right, cool. We're going either way.
I don't give a
So,
shit. I want Taco Bell.
On the way there, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this one has like nice poured curbing along the driveway.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
It's the typical like industrialized modern fucking restaurant. It's like, oh yeah, let's put curbs everywhere.
I'm like, I might have to 3-point turn the drive-through. And he's just like, you think so? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this thing's wide. And those curbs, they had room because we were in Steve's truck on like 22s or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was like scared of the curbs. I'm like,
Yeah.
I am not scared of these curbs.
I'll hit them for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So to get into it, you pull in the parking lot and turn 90 degrees right. I'm like, well, I can't make that. So I circled the parking lot to line up better. It took
Just hop the 2 curbs so you're already in a straight line.
It was, if there was room to, I could have, but there wasn't. It was just the way it was set up.
Lord.
Took like 15 minutes in the drive-through because they'd had somebody else's order. They
Oh, there's
messed
an
up.
$80 order.
Yep.
That they messed
happened
up or
from
something.
from the lobby or whatever. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm like, we're in no rush. We're sitting there vibing.
That sounds like a normal
yeah.
Taco Bell order.
my,
for
tru-
me.
my truck's dumping uncatalytic converted air into the truck behind us. I'm like, oh, he's probably loving that or
It's
hating
fine.
it. I'm like, it's 1 a.m. He's drunk. It's fine.
It's
Made it through made it through all the curbs. Didn't hit any of them.
Wow.
It was cozy, but we did it. Got
Yeah.
back, ate our Taco Bell. It's like, let's go to bed.
bedtime.
We're
it was a
done.
good time.
Yeah.
It's sweepy time.
Very good time. Did we eat it inside the camper?
We did.
Okay.
Because I was eating on my bed. I'm like, if I eat this crunchy taco on my bed, I'm gonna make a mess.
So
I'm
both
so
of you guys
careful.
slept in the camper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we
So one in the bed, one in the because the couch is a
Kitchenette.
pull-out.
Kitchenette
Yes.
turns into a bed. Yep.
So as we're
Which
going to-
how was I did never even asked.
Other than it being horribly sticky because we didn't turn the AC on.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
vinyl gets real.
I
sticky.
should have opened the
You didn't
rooftop.
lay a blanket down on top of that?
No, I was
I had.
drunk.
I was like, I had plenty of blankets and shit.
I was
but
drunk.
That's
figured
fair.
out, yeah.
That's fair.
No, I
fuck it.
Like, yeah,
The
like,
vinyl gets
it
sticky.
turned into what 60 degrees outside. Maybe
Yeah,
high
more or
50s.
less. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
If the windows
inside,
were,
no, inside was plenty warm. Actually,
Yeah.
hot.
Oh, it was hot
because
with the
there
three
was
of us.
500 pounds of meat inside.
and I sweat when I sleep anyway.
Yeah,
Yep,
so it's
same.
me and Brian and my 80-pound dog inside. So there was literally so much body heat. The inside turned like mid-70s.
And the whole the one thing we're missing is like if there was someone to just plug our phones in without the generator running.
Yeah, that's the only because there is a solar panel up top. And there's a 12-volt battery, so I can run the water pump. I can
Yeah.
run the
Just
awning,
a couple lights, nothing crazy.
you know,
but
I'm honestly surprised you haven't put in
a little inverter or something.
just like 2 batteries.
Yeah, I moved
Extra voltage.
in the morning. I moved my bag right behind it. There's 2 USB ports with a little green light next to
Yeah,
it.
so we could have fucking
I'm
charged
just
our
like,
phones.
oh, I'm like,
So yeah, that's all. Literally, that's the only complaint. And then also, like I said, if I would just not turn the fans on in the
aerial
pop
vents.
caps, aerial vents.
Yep.
I just needed to open them to bleed off
Yeah.
the hot
That's-
air. And I eventually did open up the window that my bed is next to, and it got way better. Or I don't know if you noticed
It-
it.
it
got
got better. Yeah.
Any
yeah.
sort of little airflow.
Yeah. Again, yeah. If I would have popped the vent to the start at about 50, 60
Pop the vent
degrees,
and
that'd been
just
perfect.
barely
So, yeah.
open your window
For
so you get
reference-
some breeze.
After
Yeah.
you
For
walk to the
reference
bathroom
now-
at like 3 a.m.
I had to piss. Yeah. And I used to do it out in the ambulance. I used to wake up drunk, open the door, piss off piss out of the door,
Open
close the
door.
door. Problem is the door on the camper is so fucking loud.
And now there's 5 foot of steps to piss
Yeah,
off
so
of.
it's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and piss.
Yeah.
And like, sorry.
But no, honestly, it wasn't terrible. If I wasn't stuck to the vinyl all night, it would have been fine.
Yeah, there was a regular blanket there that
Yeah.
you definitely should have thrown.
So
down.
what does the kitchenette turn into?
Just
Twin?
maybe a twin.
about a 5.5 foot bed. About
Man,
2
I would
foot
just
wide.
go
Also, yeah,
get some-
I can no, it's at least 5'7" because I can lay.
Well, I mean.
My knees are bent like literally an inch or
Yeah.
two. Like
If I put my head like into the cubby where the cushion would
Yes,
go, I can
yes.
stretch out fully for like
Okay.
a couple seconds.
I
Yeah,
would just
I'm
go to
tight,
Walmart and buy some
It's not-
twin-sized fitted sheet for like
Eh,
$3.
I don't think you could.
honestly, no. You should bring your own like mat or something to throw all because they are like 5 separate cushion pieces. So if you at least make it all one piece, it'd be fine.
If it
But
wasn't
yeah, and then
sticky, it would have been fine.
yeah, and then like yeah,
Oh
exactly.
shit! Just go to Walmart and get one of those foam
Yeah,
mattress
foam sleeping pads.
toppers.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
Yeah.
all you need. Yeah,
Yeah, and
You
then
need
just throw a
you
fitted sheet
you
on
just
top of that
need
and you're good.
something to make it one piece
Yeah,
would be fine.
to where it doesn't
But yeah,
pull.
lengthwise, like I said, like for me, I laid down in it just to see, and like I said, I had to bend my knees an inch.
It wasn't bad.
So,
I didn't.
yeah.
I had no major complaints
Yeah.
of the actual fitment of it. It was
I
fine.
also hate to say it, but I am so in the fucking mood to go goddamn car camping again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like it's bad.
do it. You have an Outback. Literally go Outback in the Outback.
I want to go on a road
Make a
trip with the
weekend.
boys again.
Drive to Indiana.
Let's go to fucking Wisconsin. Wisconsin actually has shit to do.
Can we go fishing?
No.
Sure. If I go to Wisconsin, I will fish. Absolutely.
If we go to Wisconsin, I'm gonna drink. Not
Okay,
fish.
I will be drinking and fishing. I promise.
I'll watch you guys fish.
Yeah.
and
No.
play,
Absolutely.
play something on my phone.
Same.
And don't do a 3-day weekend. Do it. It's a 2-day.
Yeah.
I will go up there after work Friday and whatnot.
right.
But yeah.
Fuck,
But
I'm
yeah,
game.
so-
Let's pick a fucking weekend.
I love.
bring the cat.
Saint Germain and Minocqua.
I don't give a shit.
So-
I just want to fucking go camping again.
But regardless, so yeah, we loaded up about 10, 11 ish. Stopped in Leroy on the way home. Ate some Arby's.
Hell yeah.
It was
Arby's.
It was Arby's.
Worked. Yep.
It was meaty and sweaty, but it was good.
Yep.
Got
Pretty
home.
good.
Got
Hey,
back
man.
I got back to my house about 1:30. Probably got home 1:50 ish.
Well, go to Hennepin,
Oh,
unload,
yeah.
figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I almost left there to do something. I kind of forgot what it was.
Yeah, you'll have them.
Somebody
Big
invited
jobs.
me somewhere or
And
some
you're just like-
Did I
shit.
invite you to go
Fishing.
No,
No, not that day.
That wasn't
no.
that day.
I forgot what
Yeah.
it was.
Well, on the way home, we were kind of talking about like, oh, we could do something tomorrow because I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, let's go golfing. I'm like, I don't know, probably
Yeah.
not. And then I wake up and you're at the golf course. I'm like, oh, you were serious.
How did you know that?
You're on Snap Map.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, no.
I'm like,
I
oh, he was
seen,
serious. I
I seen
thought
my
he was
buddy
joking.
Alex. My buddy Alex was at the golf course. I woke up like fairly early. I slept until like 8 or 9.
Hell yeah.
Woke up. I see he's at the golf course at like 10. Oh no, like
It would've been
11,
9, yeah.
like 11 o'clock. I'm like,
I'm gonna go
I'm like,
golfing.
hey, can I tag along with you guys? I didn't know who he was with, but I'm like, who's with you, and can I tag along for the back nine? He's like, yeah, it's my buddy Dan, and you can come back. You can come to the back nine. I'm like, fucking bet.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought you were joking.
No,
I'm like,
I genuinely wanted to go golfing.
yeah. So I was like, nah, whatever. And that's you there. I'm like, oh, he was serious.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
about
like, oh, damn.
texting you, and I'm like, whatever. We'll find a day to go.
I
golfing.
wouldn't have made it any. I was whooped.
Yeah.
Just laying there
Oh.
fucking.
Yeah, no, I kind of woke up, didn't have much to do. Like just about the time I was getting some energy, I saw that, and I'm like, okay,
This'll
I need to
work.
go
I
to
can drag
Casey's.
my ass out
I
of
need to go to
bed.
Casey's to get lunch and get some food in me, and we'll be starting to
Pound a Red Bull on the way. You'll be good.
Mountain Dew live wire.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Love them.
Hell yeah.
Every time I eat at Casey's fucking fast food, I usually get a live wire.
That's fair.
Um,
I'm a voltage guy. But
yeah, run out to the new place, grab my golf clubs, go out to fucking Edgewood.
Bang out the back nine.
I get there and I just hang out because they're finishing up the front nine. They just got the whole 8, so I'm like, perfect. I got like 10 minutes, whatever. Eventually go inside. I'm like, hey, can I get a cart? And I'm just doing the back nine. I'm tagging along with these guys. They're like, no, you can't get a cart. There are none available. I'm like, okay, fair.
Fuck.
I'm like, well, fuck. I don't want to fucking walk. Or if I walk in front of these guys, they're gonna take forever and like this and that. I'm like, god damn it.
Just tell them to come pick me up.
I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, well, you can use a cart, like a push cart. And I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'll do that. Walk out there with a push cart, whatever. Somebody else, Garrett.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to
yeah.
fucking
I know
dox
exactly-
everybody.
yeah,
here, but
I know what you're
Garrett,
talking about, yeah.
I'm like, hey, he was there with a different group of people. I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, him and he was with a group of 4, so they used 2 carts. They bring 2 carts. I'm like, perfect. So I go inside. I'm like, hey, Garrett, do you want to do the back 9 with these other guys who he's really good friends with one of them at least?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's all like me and you tag along. We'll do a foursome for the back 9. Great. We'll use one of the carts you just brought in. I walk up to the counter. I'm like, hey, they just brought some carts up. Can we use one of those, or are they already reserved for a tea time? They're like, dude, again, like just dickhead-ish. She's like, no. Like, there's a tea time. There's a set tea time. You cannot use the cart. I'm like, okay, fine, dude. Like,
whatever.
so I was asking you if this is available, if
even
this is
possible.
possible.
Yeah.
Not, hey, give me a fucking cart. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just asking if you
Trying to
can
be
do
courteous
this.
about
Yeah,
it.
I was not being a dick. Like,
don't
I was
know-
genuinely just like, hey, I see you're out of carts. I'm sure there's another tea time coming up. It's Monday of Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. So, like, yeah, like, let's just kind of figure. Like, I'm just trying to see if it's. I don't want to walk.
Yeah,
that's all.
that's
I'm
it.
fat
I
now.
just
Like, I
don't
don't
wanna
want to walk.
Fucking, I'm bringing the
last time
110. Eat a dick.
I'll say last time I walked this course, I was in fucking high school. That was 40
And it still
pounds
whooped
ago.
my
Like,
ass.
no, dude.
Yeah, way different.
So walk back over to the guys who were just about to start the back 9. A random dude who they know is doing singles and is about to start the back 9. I'm like, brother, can I hop in with you? He's like, sure, let's do the foursome, brother. And so we'd fucking end up doing 2 carts and do a
Nice.
four person round of golf. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, that was Monday Memorial Day, so that was pretty good.
Sweet.
But yeah,
Do you just want to recap any of your stuff? We already are like
Sure.
2 hours deep.
Sure.
are we?
Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah. It's late as shit.
Okay, so
So
like
if you want to make
this
it quick-ish.
this week, I was on call.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yep.
Right.
Worked 6.5 hours for no fucking reason.
What day?
On
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday,
Monday.
Saturday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Got called out to a tower. Didn't have the keys to open. So it was a water tower with like an equipment shed connected to it. Didn't have, of course, the keys to open that because we don't get keys. Got told to go home. Made it all the way to Marseilles from Manuka. So like,
Ooh, that's a good drive. That's a long drive. Actually.
it was an hour drive from home to the
To Manuka,
tower.
yeah.
And I got to the Marseilles exit and got told,
About
hey,
halfway home.
go to Coal City. Somebody's going to meet you there.
That's
Which is
25 minutes the opposite direction.
Yep. Got all the way into Coal City, and I got told, hey, meet me at the tower site. I'll meet you there.
In Manuka?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another 15 minutes.
Cool.
fucking
I got to
back
get
away-
gas.
back away.
Got there. Turns out it was just a bad power strip. Swapped that out. Jiggled the cable. Everything was up. Fucking went home.
I say you know that area
Son-
enough. You know how
yeah.
bad that drive sucks.
It's just, that's a lot of fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my defense, I did stop at Runnings, Big R, Runnings.
Yeah, in Morris.
on the way
yeah.
back and bought way too many fucking fishing lures.
Yeah.
It's
a good store. It's
I
a good
spent
store.
$120.
Oh, that's
I got
way
some
worse.
chicken stuff. I got some fishing
That's
stuff.
how much your kayak cost.
No, my kayak was $200.
No, but you're getting
Whatever.
there.
Monday I worked. They gave me a full day. That full day
Did you
turned
actually
into
do the work, or
well, yeah.
was it a fuck off day?
no,
Okay.
no,
Wasn't sure. Just
no.
wanted to check.
It was a full day of calls,
10-4.
and usually like if it's like, hey, go to here, then go all the way over here, and then go all the way back, and then go back to where you were. I try to like consolidate.
Sure.
Monday I was like, fuck it. They want to fuck my schedule up and have me drive an hour each way.
I'm driving in circles today, baby.
That's on them. It's a holiday. I'm getting paid double time and a half.
Hell yeah.
Worked 8 hours and 45 minutes
There you go.
on Monday. I about lost my shit
You'll have that on the big
because,
jobs.
of course, my last call was wireless. So nobody's in the office to help support me.
Oh yeah.
And the thing that kind of sucks with wireless is like not every radio is in the inventory system. So like to properly set a radio, you have to assign it to somebody's account. Well, if it's not in inventory, it just doesn't show up.
Love that.
So like I had 3 radios and I was on my 3rd. And I really unfortunately had to like look the guy in the face and like, there's nothing I can do. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, literally.
Got
Sorry,
him
man.
fixed though, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, went fishing twice.
Sure.
If you want to pull my pictures
So
up.
you got 3 pitters.
This was
Dog.
Tuesday. Tuesday, I went out to the wetlands in the kayak. Tried fishing frogs because there was a couple guys out there was like, oh, they're fucking biting on frogs. I've only gotten fish to bite on frogs like once out there,
Okay.
and other than that, I just get fucked.
Maybe
So-
they're just lying to you. To
No,
waste
he
your
was
time.
fishing with frogs because I watched him because I was trying to see his.
What do you mean fishing with frogs?
So
frog lures.
they're topwater lures. They look like frogs.
Okay. That's what I assume.
And
Yeah,
they're
they try.
soft.
They
they're
kind of react like
yeah,
frogs.
they're soft body. So
When you pull them,
The-
they kind of flex. And
well, yes and no. The frog body is hollow, so when the fish go and come up on top water and grab them, the hooks come
Set.
out and set into them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
didn't have shit. I was using a chatterbait on this one, and I could see this motherfucker was just jumping up, and he kept coming up water and getting bugs and shit. So I kind of snuck up on him real nice and quiet in the kayak and casted past him. Slowly came in, and I saw, because it's so shallow out there, I saw him come in, so I let it sit, and he grabbed, and I just fucking
Just set the hell out of them.
set the hell out of it. This was a big fucker too.
That does look like a good size bass.
Good
Did I
fish.
send the other one?
You sent.
Yeah, it was a good sized bass.
That's a good fish.
I was so fucking happy.
Did you eat it?
No,
You put it back?
no, I always put them back. I don't have anywhere to put them.
Hey,
If I had
in
a
your
pond,
belly. In your
if I had a pond at home, I would.
Well, you do when it rains more than 2 inches.
Yeah. But yeah, I went
In the
went
basement.
fishing out in the kayak, caught this guy.
Nice little fish.
And then the other time we went out with a kind of like family friend of ours has a boat,
A real boat.
an
not-
actual boat,
Mhm.
and her younger son likes to go fishing. So like me and him kind of been bullshitting about that. This was a drummer fish,
I don't even know
a
what the
drummer,
fuck that is.
a
It's a
drum.
goofy-ass fish.
I don't know. It was out in the fucking river. They're nasty. I don't eat them. I always throw them
Yeah,
back.
those ones. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just reeling in, and all of a sudden something snagged. And I fish lures a lot, so like vibration and snags don't kind of get
don't
me going
trigger
as
you.
much.
Yeah.
And then it kind of shot off to left. I'm like, oh, some bitch,
That's a fish.
fish on. And
All right,
yeah,
Jeremy Wade, calm down.
yeah, caught that sucker.
Caught all the river
that
monsters.
was pretty good.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, big time fisherman shit.
Nick, you want to recap anything?
Nick
wanna wait
has
till
some
next week?
actual shit.
Or do you
I
want to wait?
do.
Do you want to wait till next week instead? Or
Give him
no?
a little taste.
Okay. I mean, we're at 2+
Yeah.
hours.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say yeah. No, we went past the hour.
All right.
Spoiler
fair
alert: Nick bought some things,
Hell.
Bought some stuff.
Yeah.
and you have to wait till next week to hear about it. If you're still here watching, thanks for
Which they're
watching.
not.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.